Be this kind of show today.
What's up, Friday Eve, everybody? Sports Take. JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Barrett Brooks. Derek Gunn.
What up, fellas?
How y'all doing today?
Man, I'm
Gunner,
so
you
hot
all right?
right now.
I know you had some issues getting in to the studio, the compound. Everything all right?
Who, me or Barry?
Yeah, you.
Oh, dude, I came back from Walmart. They got my whole entrance to my development blocked off. They're redoing all the blacktop, and they redid 2 or 3 of the sidewalks. And I'm like, can't you people condense this? I mean, they got both entrance and exit out. It's like, I sat there for 15 minutes waiting for these guys with the sign, stop, slow, stop. I'm like, what are you people doing here?
Yeah,
I was about to go across somebody's grass, but
I hear you.
Do that.
Barrett, you good? You're back in the friendly confines. You were at practice today, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, man. Practice was early today. They went at 9 o'clock because it was so hot.
Right,
Bruh, I still haven't stopped sweating, man. I just walked in the door like maybe 10 minutes ago, and it was so hot out there, man. I'm sitting down on that hot concrete, the little stands they have.
Yeah, they have steps there. Basically, they're like sort of like stands where you can sit right around the middle of all the fields where everything's going on.
Well, bro, I was so hot, man. I'm like, look, I got to go, man. So I was walking back. I texted you guys. I was walking to the car.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking to the car, sweating profusely, I looked over, and these kids that play football in the neighborhood over in Philly.
Yeah.
They saw me start talking to me, and they just ganged up on me, man. They talking all kind of stuff. Oh, if I played against you, I would smash you. Now, these kids ain't no older than 9, 10 years old. They talking more smack than a little bit.
No kidding, man.
So I'm like, yo, who you talking to? So I had to take one of the kids' water ice from him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
wow. Stolen kid water.
That'll teach him. That'll teach him. Yeah, I like it.
I'm telling. I said, so what? Go tell. I'll tell for you. Go ahead.
Okay.
It was crazy, man.
Got to set him straight, man. You got to put him on the right path at a young age. I'm all for that, man.
That's how old are you?
You went straight bully tactic on him?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I kind of knew him because my wife's little cousin plays for him. You know what I'm saying? So I know half the kids out there. But you ain't just gonna ride up on me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what type of day I'm having at that time. At that point in time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You blacked out is what you did.
No, I didn't black out. I kind of no. I just took the blue water ice, the raspberry water ice.
He blacked out from the heat from what was going on earlier.
You guys
Africa
were talking
hot
about
outside.
Yeah, you're talking about the heat. And my dad and my uncle said when I was a kid, every summer like clockwork, when heat and humidity got to a certain point, they would tell the same joke over and over. Man, it's so hot outside. I just saw a policeman chasing a robber, and they were both walking. They would tell the same joke over and over every summer.
You got to play the hits, Gunner. You know what I mean?
I know, man. I know.
All right, so I see a lot of folks in the chat section, and I see everybody. What's up, everybody? I am a man of my word, okay?
Wait. Before you get to that.
Yes.
Chris D has the best question yet. How's the Steps project coming?
I will go take a picture during the next break. I finished it off today.
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
That's my boy.
I got to remove the tarp. I put some tarp on it just so nobody stepped on it. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys.
Maggie, are you there? Can you give us your assessment of this, please?
The little Roberts does it.
She'll check in. She will check in. But I all right. So I look what I found.
Yeah.
I found Skippy.
Yeah.
And Super Chunk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Extra crunchy. So I did everything I was supposed to do. I held up my end of the bargain. Now I just to prove that it is the chunky junk, which I can't stand. You guys can see the
junk.
You can see it in there.
Let
right?
me ask you this: Have you ever eaten Skippy before?
I've eaten it when there was nothing else. Yes.
Yeah.
I've eaten
Okay.
it.
When you absolutely had to, right?
Okay.
Yeah, when I absolutely had. Now
Okay.
you can see the chunks in there, right? I'm not lying. You see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just want to make sure, I don't want anybody questioning, what I'm doing. Now, so people who are just tuning in, maybe didn't see yesterday, the deal was you give us 100 likes, 150.
No, 150. Yeah.
150 likes, and I would eat chunky peanut butter, which skeeves me. Okay.
Which what? What?
Skeeves me. Grosses
How do you spell
me
that?
out.
How do you spell that?
SKEEV. I don't know. So I'm gonna eat it today, but let's give it up for that, and let's see if we can do 150 or more today. But here we go. So let's start smashing the like button right now. But all right, now John's already saying, what's the challenge for 200 likes? Is this? I can't do it every day, man.
Right.
Wait. Hey, did you see what Xander said? Yesterday we had 189 likes. Today's goal is 200. We need 200 likes today.
All right, that's our goal. Now,
That's
all
our
right,
goal.
Here we go.
Come on, Rob. You can do it, baby. You can do it.
That's a good chunk there. I just took a big
There
bite.
you go. You gotta wash it down with some milk, dude. You need some milk to wash it down.
Oh,
No, he does milk. He does water,
What do
man.
you mean?
yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Skippy peanut butter is good.
Mm-mm.
If he regurgitates on air, I'm off the show the rest of the
If I puke on the
I'm
air,
done.
it's 300 likes.
I'm done. I am done.
All right. Well, I will eat. I'll finish it all off. Trust me. I'm not just going to give you. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Just go easy. I'm doing the whole slice there. So we'll get it done.
All right, well, guys, I missed the morning call. See, everyone, we do a rundown call just to put the show together. Where guests are. Kind of what we're going to have. What we're going to have to after the breaks and things of that nature. So I missed it because I was coming back here. But what do we have on deck today, man?
All right. So we have at 1:00 Matt Gelb.
Okay.
Is going to join us from the
Good,
Athletic.
Yep.
Billy, big win yesterday, man. Really big.
Great game, by the way.
It was a phenomenal baseball game. Wheeler was great.
What the heck is
They
going
got
on here?
a really clutch home run from Castellanos, and David Robertson closed.
Wait.
it out.
Who got the clutch home run? Who'd you say?
Um,
Who? Say it again. Why you
The
got a
other
mouthful
guy.
of
peanut
chunky?
butter. Peanut butter's in my.
Say it again.
Maybe he's getting better at the right time, man.
Yeah. Seriously though, man. Like if he starts heating up now, and they
Hey,
get
John.
Harper back and Segura back,
Yeah.
look out, dude. Look out.
John Diggers is tripping. 200 likes, and D Gun has to do the skull chant. Come on, man. That's worse
What?
than eating chunky
That
peanut
is
butter.
good.
Uh,
Because
look.
his brother,
Skull chant.
his brother
Yeah.
loves the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
You know
No,
what, John?
can't be doing
Yes.
Come
Yes.
on, man. Hold up,
That's a
man.
good. That's
I
a
like
good,
that, John.
That's it. That's
All
good.
right, so gang,
200.
and we see there's Mama Brooks checking in. What's up, Mama Brooks?
Good morning, Mom.
Saying hi to Chris, our girl Chris. So here's what we do. We got to get to 200 today, though. That's our goal. We got to 189, as Xander said and Derek said earlier. We get to 2 bills. Now, Barrett, maybe you even bring your brother. Maybe we get him on the show. What's your brother's first name?
Philip.
Philip?
Yeah, but he works during this time. He works for the
Okay.
post office during this time.
Okay.
Maybe I can have him call from the post office.
Philip Brooks?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Philip Gunn. No, I'm sorry. Not your brother. Derek's brother. Who loves
Oh,
the
Derek.
My brother's name is Marvin.
All right,
Yeah.
so maybe we get Marvin on, and you have to do the skull chant to Marvin, who's a Vikings fan.
Look, my brother's the worst because
Oh,
he's
my goodness.
he's a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah, I don't get that at all, man. You go
How-
to St.
how?
Louis. What? I can see
Exactly.
if you're a Cardinal fan. I mean, what is that?
I just don't know. I don't understand how it happened. But he was a when I was playing for the state, he was a Steelers fan all but 2 days out of the year, which is crazy. The
Well,
two
and
times we played Cleveland, he was always a Cleveland fan.
But even when you were an Eagle, right? He wasn't even an Eagle fan.
Still a Cleveland fan.
I don't get it, man. I don't get
From
that.
birth, man. I don't know what's wrong with him, man.
All right, so let's hit the like button, folks. We get to 200.
My mom probably found him somewhere and took him in. That's exactly what happened.
He was on a doorstep somewhere.
Right. I just feel bad for him.
Scooped him up.
This is
Yeah.
one of those shows. I hope we do not get to 200 likes.
Come on, baby.
I do not.
Gunner, it's
do
Gunner's
not.
turn. All right, we get
Oh.
to 200. You got to do your skull for your brother Marvin.
I've never heard of skull. What is a skull chant?
Don't start. Do they do that
Yeah, it's
It
sort
just
of like
goes.
a tomahawk.
Yeah.
But they do,
like with
I
like
can't even say it.
the Viking
Florida
guy.
State?
He has the
Oh,
horn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that.
then everybody in the stadium goes,
Oh.
I can't even let the words come out of my mouth.
Bro,
It's sacrilegious.
that place there, man, was when there was the old dome.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
the
my
worst,
goodness.
man, because they used to pump in crowd noise. No, we never pumped it in. They caught him, and they never got fined or anything for it. I don't understand it. Why?
yeah. Why is that allowed in a dome?
Exactly.
And that's
Come on,
weak.
come on,
By the
Chris
way, that's
D.
weak that you need to do that in a dome.
Right, exactly.
Come on, Chris D. You're supposed to be on my side. Come on now.
No, Chris knows.
Come
Chris
on,
is right.
Chris.
Derek
That's
doing the
messed up.
skull chant for his brother. That's
No,
I like that.
Oh my goodness.
Marvin will be in his glory.
Yes, he will.
All
Look
right.
at it, Birdman 990. We coming for D guy. This ain't
We
right.
are. Good. I
ain't
get a
right.
break. I don't have to eat something I hate one day. Be nice.
How about sardines on crackers? You know, it's funny you said, because I told you we grew up on that. It was like my dad would buy the 10 cans of sardines all the time, and we the saltine crackers. And
Actually, good, man.
And I used to do the same thing. You know,
I used to eat. I used to put mustard on mine.
Wait, mustard on sardines?
Yes, mustard.
Oh, I ain't
I've
good.
heard of that actually.
It's amazing. It was pretty good.
The dark mustard or light, Barrett?
The regular,
to me,
the
mustard is
regular,
mustard.
yeah.
I mean, the only different mustard I know is Grey Poupon. I don't even eat
Poupon.
that junk. What is that? It's
Oui.
just mustard with mayo in it, right?
Mustard for rich people.
No, we would just do it sardine right on the cracker, and that's it. Just
Okay.
No,
and I didn't even think about looking at the fish with the little eye. They all had sardines had the little eye and the little tail on them. You eat now. I didn't even think about it back then, but now I'd be like,
oh, I just hit 42. I hit 42 for 42 likes.
There you
I was
go.
42.
wait, you hit 42.
I just hit. I was the number 42. Yeah.
Oh, why you do? Okay, all right. Just remember, Barry, your turn's coming. Just remember.
No, I'm just trying to get the show likes. That's all. I'm doing my part, man.
That's
doing
all
my
you
part.
No, you want to see me do that dang skull chant. That's what you want.
There we go.
See,
All right, let's get 'em.
I did my part.
That's good. All right, so we'll get Barrett. Oh, so Barrett, I forgot to give. We're in the middle of giving you the rundown. So we got Matt Gelb at 1, 2:30. EJ Smith is going to join us. EJ was down there with you today at the Novacare.
I saw him. Yep.
Yeah. So they went. Today was the longest practice.
Hour 50, baby.
Hour and 50. And did you know they're off tomorrow?
No, I didn't know that.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, they had a good practice today, man. They had a tough practice. They got it in today, man. Like, I'm really starting to turn the corner on what they do out on the field.
Their methodology, the way they're going about this.
They go about their business, man. It's not like you see anybody walking around. There's no wasted time.
Okay.
You rarely see people standing around. The only people really standing around are probably the D line and the O line, and they're not standing around because they're doing reps.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they don't hit in practice.
Well, they hit today. They hit yesterday. I mean, day before yesterday.
Okay, what hit? Hitting like what? Just initial hit and then stop, or what? What?
No, they're drive blocking and everything. They just don't finish plays like offensive lineman. If he has a chance to dump a defensive lineman, he's not going to do it. Although I saw a defensive lineman today finish the third team tackle and put him on his butt. I'm talking about laid him out.
Oh, you know that's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight eventually.
Well,
okay, so how does Mailata and Dillard have concussions? How is that possible?
Is it? I'm asking. I don't know. I'm proposing this. I don't know. But I mean, if they're in the trenches, there is contact.
Yeah, but they got the mushrooms on their helmet.
Right. Exactly. Bumper guards on their helmet. How did both have concussions today?
Barrett, I'm asking. Does everybody wear it? Every player has that stuff on?
The wide receivers and corners don't have them. Safeties don't have them. But the linebackers, D-line, O-line, tight ends have the mushrooms on their helmet.
Okay, so I don't know how they got them. I don't know.
When I heard that this morning, I said, "What?"
So it was Mailata and who?
And Dillard.
Dillard. And Devontae Smith was out with a groin injury for just an FYI. But
I didn't see him today. I didn't see him today.
Mailata and Dillard were out with concussions. So I don't know. I really don't know.
I'll tell you what, today was physical. I tell you what, man, Davion Taylor is starting to show me something, man.
Okay.
Davion Taylor his one-on-one pass coverage has gotten better. He's more instinctual. He's playing faster. Kazir White playing faster. And I kept telling you guys that Nakobe Dean, it's going to take a while for him to get in the offense. I kept telling you he wasn't going to be a day one starter. It's probably going to take him the latter part of the year to even get on the field taking some defensive reps.
I buy that, Barrett. I mean, we're asking. Hey, you're trying to teach him 3 different positions. Number one, he's trying to learn the pro game, and you have some linebackers now. It's not like you're desperate to have to get him out there right away.
In fact, I see Bradley taking more reps than he does.
No kidding.
Which is pretty good because Bradley's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
he's looking good,
and he's the best special teamer too. I mean, there were some people saying he might get cut. I don't believe he's getting cut, man.
Not after what I saw today. I don't think he's going to get cut either.
Yeah,
they're going in the right direction, man. It's not as though they just because they got this team that everybody's saying they're going to be good. They're not worried about what us as fans and media are saying. They don't care what we're saying. They're going about their business and going to work. Then I did see some guys that they're not going to make the team just because they just don't work hard enough, man. I saw guys, and you could tell the difference between going hard and going hard. Playing hard with intention and then just lollygagging, and not really lollygagging, but not going as hard as you can go, exhausting yourself, getting your body used to going physically to the limit every single play. And those are the guys that get cut. Those are the guys that don't get better. Right. And I saw some guys like that today. And I don't want to call them out. I don't want to really say anything, but everybody's seeing because they don't see the production on the practice field when it counts. Because what they're doing in drills is a direct reflection of what they're doing on the field when their opportunity comes and they're in there playing defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's interesting, man.
It's Epps is playing at a high level. Epps goes hard every single rep.
Barrett, everything I'm seeing from Epps is the dude's killing it all camp. He's killing it everywhere.
He's hungry. Harris, he's got that dog mentality. He's hungry.
Right. And then I told you, Harris, I thought they were going to move him from being that deep free safety to strong safety. He's in the box more. That's exactly where Harris is. He's playing well. But Kayvon Wallace, man, he's got to do more in practice. He's got to do more when the camera's not looking. He's got to do more when he's up there doing reps. You can't half-ass reps and think you're not going to half-ass play when the lights come on. Right. You're going to play exactly the way you practice. If you're going full go, your body get used to going full go. You can't just turn it on. You got guys like A.J. Brown going full speed every single time he's on the field. Yeah. Sprinting. Running hard.
He practices like T.O. Yes. Doesn't he? I mean, T.O. practiced hard.
Catches everything.
Yep.
Competes every single play. So that's what the expectation I see on the field is him doing that. Same thing with Epps. When they're in drills, going full speed, turning his hip, making sure he's turning that leg over, getting where he has to be, getting where his space is supposed to be. Then I see guys that's just, all right, I'm just going to go through the drill. All right, let me finish hard. You got to go finish. You got to act like you're finishing from the start of the drill to the end of the drill. You know what I'm saying? And I see guys that aren't doing it. They don't have that luxury of not doing it.
Yeah, and some of these guys, I think it sounds like are borderline guys too, man. They're
right. A couple of defensive linemen I saw doing the same thing.
And don't think coaches don't see it because everything is on film nowadays. You cannot hide. You cannot hide anymore. So those are the guys lollygagging. If those guys are going to be applying for the CFL or trying to catch on somebody else's practice squad, they keep that up.
Let me also tell you guys, did you guys know this? That the Eagles sometimes will air the practice on their website.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know that sometimes they'll go ahead and film the practice and, they'll have Spud. Spud will be, commentating over it, talking over it, showing different things. But, yeah, it's on the website. You can see the live practice on the website.
Interesting, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
They don't do it every single time, but I was trying to see if they could put on the alert, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm having NBC tell me when they do it. But, I learned a lot from practice today.
Okay. All right. Well, so tell me if this observation, because I read as much as I can from people who are down there. Defense way outplayed the offense today. Like in the defensive line in particular, had a really good day. True
on
or
pass
false?
plays. On pass plays, they
Okay.
dominated. The front four, the front three, whoever's in there, dominated. You know, even the first team line had some problems against them.
Okay.
But then again, you got to give the offensive line props on them running the ball. They muscled guys in the running game. Nobody said that, did they? The running back wasn't getting touched till he got to the second level.
Yeah, it was more just defensive line won the battle, like kind of one of those deals. But
they won the battle in the pass rush, but they got their ass kicked, handed to them in the run. So much so, the past 2 times I seen him in full pass, and I saw, the run game, that I'm getting kind of nervous. I'm literally getting kind of nervous because those guys are being pushed around a little bit.
Is any of it Hurts is holding it too long in the pass game?
No, I mean those guys are getting out physical.
Okay.
And I think has a lot to do with Big Jordan not being over the left tackle.
Yeah, he didn't, like we mentioned. If you're just tuning in, he was out today. He and Dillard have concussions, so he did not play today.
Right. So you could tell it was a lot of the pressure coming over there. Also, the defense. I got to give Gannon props because he schemed it. He schemed it perfectly. They're playing a lot tighter man to man, a lot more man to man, a lot more cover 3.
What's the front look like? Like
a
lot of different looks, multiples.
It varies. Yeah, it varies. You know, sometimes they have like today was a lot of passing down. There was a lot of passing that they were trying to accomplish. So it was a lot of nickel front, which was 4 defensive, well, two D tackles. And those hybrid guys on the end, like BG.
So Reddick's on the end in that set?
Yeah.
Where is he? Okay.
Yeah. Reddick's on one side.
Is he standing up or his hand in the dirt?
Standing up.
Okay.
For the most part. Sweat had a good day today.
Okay.
Sweat, man, he's getting better, man. He's gonna be a trooper, man. I mean, he might be second or third as far as sacks this year. That's how good he looks.
Okay.
Sweat looks good. Derek, he's got to work harder at
Barnett
at finishing plays, man. You like I said, the way you work in practice usually is going to reflect how you play when the lights come on. Like in game situations, scrimmage situations, if you half-ass do it when you're out there, then you're going to get the same effort because your body only knows that way of doing things. If you go full go, your body's used to it, so it's not going to be hard for you to turn it on. But if you never turned it on and you wait until it's time to turn it on, your body won't know how to react to that. There's very few people that can go without practice and go in and just debo. Very few people. Few and far between. There's only certain gifted athletes that could do that. None of these guys that I'm talking about are that gifted to be able to turn it on.
This guy could do it. The guy behind me.
Yeah.
The guys we're talking about aren't that guy. Okay.
Like, that guy right there didn't have to practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't practice hard either. I would go so far as to say Big Reggie didn't practice hard.
Yeah.
But when you have a God-given talent like he had, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like his anointing showed every time he wanted to turn it on, he could.
See, Barrett, that bothers me about Barnett. Like, dude, you've been underwhelming, and I'm being kind here, in your career for a guy who was taken where he was taken. And, you should be out there busting your ass. I mean, you took a way less money.
He paid half. I mean, you remember he made 10.5 last year.
Yeah.
This year he's making 5.5.
And, and you took it because you didn't have other options, basically. And you still, man, it's discouraging.
Well, I mean, but I'll probably get some slack for saying that, about Barnett or saying that about Kayvon Wallace.
Keep it real, man.
But if they got a problem with me saying it, then let's sit down and watch film about it. Let's sit down and watch film. Let's see what you did on practice and see if it translated during the team drills. I mean, I would do that any day. You know what I'm saying? One thing I'm not going to do is lie.
Yeah.
What I see is what I see. I'm not going to lie about what I see. Now, you want me to pat you up, hey, you're doing a great job? No, I'm not going to do that because I know at the end of the day, you're either not going to make the team or you're not going to be on the field. You're not going to make that 47-man roster on game day for damn sure.
All right, let me hit you with another observation I saw from a lot of folks. Good day for Britton Covey.
Yes. Great day. And you know what? Covey may not make this team, But I see 2 or 3 years down the road, he's the next Wes Welker. And I'm not saying, just because his size, his speed, and I mean the kid's got heart. I see him being that type of player.
Sounds
nobody
like they'll
knows.
try to bury him on the practice squad.
They'll
Just
try
to practice. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like somebody will scoop him up if they do that.
And he'll end up somewhere like New England or something, and become an all-star simply because he just works so hard. He's out there with a purpose. He understands. But in the same breath that I'm saying casting doubt on certain people, I also gotta say this. Jalen Reagor's stepping it up. I saw a work ethic, enthusiasm that I hadn't seen before.
Good.
He's being intentional about being a football player. There's a very good intent in the way he's practicing, the way he's working.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's encouraging, man. Maybe the light switch has finally got, flicked here.
I'm very encouraged about what Rager's been doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm sorry, what he did today.
Well, he had apparently he was very good the other day too. So he's had a couple good practices here.
You got to do that. Be consistent. Minshew's got some work to do also.
How was Hurts?
Hurts was good, and I don't want this to happen. People start talking about, he threw an interception, but then he starts holding the ball because if it's not open, he's not going to throw the ball. See, that's the damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation that you can put quarterbacks in by saying, he didn't have a bad day, he threw 2 picks. He might have been throwing those picks so he can learn what he can and can't do. But if he doesn't at least try to, how does he figure out he can't do it? See, a lot of the times when people, are judging him over what he's doing, he's either trying new stuff, he just had a bad play that play, but there's also other factors that are involved with these picks. Like it may be something where the wrong route was been run. A hot wasn't seen by the receiver, so they didn't break into the right coverage. Or maybe it's just the guy that he was playing against that time, the receiver was playing against, just had a better play than the receiver, or just outsmarted the quarterback. Those things happen. But I don't want him to start holding the ball so long because he didn't want his stat line and people talking about him throwing interceptions dictate to him and everybody else that he's going to hold the ball and not take chances.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of.
You got to take chances.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? I mean, we when we talk about him, people, I think mistakenly always focus on arm strength. I think he's fine there, but it's getting the ball out quickly. It's going through your progressions. It's staying in the pocket and doing your thing. I mean, if that's an issue now, that's going to be an issue when it gets real come September 11th. So that's worrisome.
You don't want it to start. You don't want to see, but today he was getting the ball out. He was making plays. He threw one in the dirt to keep from throwing an interception down in the red zone. I like that.
Fine with that. If it's not there, live to see another day, man.
Exactly. So he's a lot better. He's miles ahead of where he was last year at this point.
Okay.
Put it like that. I didn't see much of Carson Strong. I didn't, William Stark. I really didn't. Actually, I'm apologize because I didn't really focus on Carson Strong today. I was looking a little Minshew, a little bit of Hurts, but for the most part, I wanted to see what the safeties were doing and the linebackers, I focused on them for the most part throughout that. I didn't even go down with the offensive line. I watched a couple of one-on-ones, but just enough I could see, okay, he's playing well. But then after that, I was down and I was watching 7-on-7, one-on-ones, team with entire teams, because I really wanted to see how the safeties were playing, how the linebackers were playing.
How's Kaiser White looked, Barry? I haven't heard a lot on him. Sometimes
that's good. He's looking quick. He's looking explosive. He's not getting a lot of balls thrown to him because he's on the receiver he's supposed to be on.
Okay.
TJ Edwards, once again, had a great practice. He wants to be perfect. So if he's not perfect, he gets mad at himself and tries to go out there and fix whatever he did. You could tell that, he's getting better. Excuse me. He's getting better, man.
I think the linebackers are going to be really good, man.
They are looking good. He reminds me a lot of remember the linebacker we had from Texas? He went to
Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Hicks.
Okay. I mean,
He's
Jordan Hicks, when he
bigger
was
than
on the
Jordan
field, was excellent. He just couldn't stay healthy. Yeah.
You know, so he's looking like that type of player.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can tell he's the leader too. He's leading while he's in there. So,
and that might be another reason why it takes the Kobe Dean a while to get out there. I mean, that's a good problem to have. The guys are playing well.
Have you had a chance to look at the wide receivers matching up against Bradbury and Slay?
Those two are so good, man. And you can tell it's a competition between the three of them. It's a competition between Avonte Maddox, Slay, and Bradbury. They're both all three of them are trying to outplay each other, which is healthy competition. You want that. Yep. It's the game within the game with those three. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, my guy is out there balling now. I keep telling you, don't sleep on McPherson.
Okay.
Zach McPherson is balling.
So he looks like he's ready to take that next step.
Yeah, he looks like it. I'll tell you one other guy that's taking the next step. Joshua Scott. They put him a little safety. I mean, Josiah Scott. That's his name, Josiah Scott. They like Maiden also. Jared Maiden. He's playing pretty well also. Zach McPherson, man, he's showing me something, man.
Okay, that's good. That's a good sign, man. And you said Davion Taylor too? Showed you a little something?
Davion looks like a freak out there, man. You know, his ability to run. Now he's diagnosing things better. He's coming downhill.
Because he's a guy who didn't play a ton of football in his high school year. He was
he was a Jehovah's Witness. He was a Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
And they don't playing on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times he couldn't play on Saturday games, just from his fate. So it was hard for him to really hone in on being a good football player until he got to college. But everybody saw the talent. Everybody could see how good he was in high school. Was Colorado gave him an opportunity to go out there and try to play better. And he took advantage of the opportunity. Was it third round pick?
Yeah, third, I believe.
Third round pick.
Yeah. So
Davion looks really good, man. He's a third round pick from 2020.
Yep.
Davion looks good. He is representing, and I saw glimmers of it last year. It's showing up right now. You can say he's a totally different player than he was. Totally different player.
This is good, man. I love this stuff. This is why I love it when you're down there. I love getting the insights, who looks good, who doesn't, what's happening.
Love being hot, though. It was so hot out there, bro.
You taking one for the team, man. Yeah.
And then people kept trying to talk. I'm like, come on now. Then people want to come up and shake my hand, give fives, and I'm thinking about monkeypox and all that nonsense, man. So I want to push people away, get away. You know what I'm saying?
Barrett's in a hazmat suit. He's standing there. Don't get near him. Yeah.
I want to stop there. Unclean.
Oh my God.
Unclean. Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he said monkeypox.
Yeah, I was like,
all right, good. Well, all right. So I want to keep dipping into this, man, because we'll keep rolling with the observations here. I got to hit you with a couple others that I noticed, like people reacting to today. Again, EJ Smith's going to join us at 2:30. EJ was down there with Barrett as well. Matt Gelb at 1:00 talking some Phillies as they're back at it tonight at home against the Nets. Thor on the mound tonight. Syndergaard will be pitching for the Phillies.
That's right. I used to call him Thor, right?
That's right. So we'll do that, but let's continue with the camp observations when we come back. Barrett, go get a nice cold drink, man. Cool off, and I'll keep throwing down my crunchy peanut butter sandwich. But anyway, we'll get through it. Let's go 200 likes today. So while we're at the break, let's hammer the like button. All right, let's do that. D Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, finances, right? You work your tail off every single day to help yourself get set up for later in life, or just to have something in the old savings, man. And knowing who to trust is difficult, but I found the right person, and I want to share it with you. That's Jim Murray from Principal Financial Group. Whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, insurance review, if you have a small business, you're trying to set up employee benefits, whatever the case may be, he's a great resource. If you're not really sure, reach out to him. He can help you with this, or he can steer you in the right direction. For me, I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollover with Jim, and I couldn't be any happier, and you will be too. Give him a call, 610-996-4751. That's 610-996-4751. You can email him as well at Murray, MURRAY.gym@principal.com. That's Murray.gym@principal.com.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on that. Can you
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
Glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, this, and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
So tasty, so crunchy, so gross. Yes, I am eating my peanut butter. In case you're just tuning in, Skippy, which I don't like, and it's extra crunchy, and it's very oily. This stuff.
You got to take a spoon and mix it up a little bit, man.
Ooh, man. Oh, by the way, I sent you guys the steps.
I saw that.
So
you did a nice job.
Thank you. If Xander can pull that up, my other project that I did this morning was resetting all the stone in my steps leading into the house. So I got that done, man. It wasn't as painful as I thought. I didn't screw it up as badly as I thought I was going to.
That's a fine job, young man. Fine job.
Thank you, Barrett.
What did you use as an adhesive for it?
I used the Gorilla Glue for stone and mason work. So I did the whole bottom. So what you're seeing right there is I did. Oh, Barrett, I actually kind of took your advice. I removed the entire bottom step and I redid all of those. And I would say I probably did of the second, like the top row that you see, I probably did almost all but maybe 3 of those. So I did a decent amount over those.
That's good. See, now you're gonna have that strength of being together now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I got them. I married them together as well, so they should be. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it holds up. First rain, it'll just all be like gone.
Did you put adhesive on the side of each brick also?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I was.
All right. Good.
I actually, in fact, I had 2 of those Gorilla Glue things, and I ran out of them way quick, so I had to hustle up to the Home Depot and grab another one. So we got it. We got it done.
Yeah.
We got it done. Not bad, not terrible. You know, we'll see. I hope it holds up. It only takes 24 hours for that to catch. So I got the tarp over it right now. I don't want the mailman to have any issues or whatever. So yeah, we'll see. We'll hold it up. But I got it done probably about 10 o'clock this morning. I finished it off. So all good. Oh, see that, man? I'm eating peanut butter. I'm doing projects around the house.
You're evaulving.
It was like a low bar that was set. So I've slightly, raised it up.
The maturation of Rob E.
We're trying, man.
Things you never thought you would do or try. Look at you expanding yourself. You expanded your palate. You're doing home projects now. We'll be calling you Tool Time next.
It takes a village, man. It takes a village. All right. So Xander, where are we, man? Where are we with likes? I need to know where we're at right now. So we don't need to know all that. We don't need. We don't. No. So if you're just tuning in, Derek, who is a avowed Viking hater, rightfully so, growing up in the Green Bay or in the Wisconsin area. Although his brother Marvin likes to rub it in because he is one. He is a Vikings fan. But if we get to 200 today, we're only at 80. Oh man, we got to pick this up big time.
Thank you,
big
people.
time.
Thank you.
All right, so if we get it to 200, folks, we're only at 80, man. All right, let's get this thing to 200. We get it to 200. Derek has to do the skull chant, which is the Vikings chant. You have any Vikings gear? Can we dress them up in anything too? Can we do that?
Did you ask me? Do I have Vikings gear? I would take Vikings gear and put it in a fire pit in the backyard before I let it come in my house.
I respect that. I totally respect that.
That's not happening. So
Barrett, you don't have anybody by any chance laying around anywhere. I know you didn't play for the Vikings. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I will actually go and just as fast as I can get everything else from off Amazon.
Okay.
Send an Amazon box to you that will be to you by tomorrow, if need be.
What do we want to put him in? We want to put him in like an old school Fran Tarkenton jersey.
Or maybe the Vikings helmet with the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, the horns.
Things, the long braid coming down, the blonde thing going down.
A blonde wig. Derek in a blonde wig. What? Yeah. That would be pretty funny, man, if he had a Vikings out and he had to blow the Viking that horn. That'd be pretty good.
I hated that, bro. Then you had the guy coming out on the chopper. The Viking coming out on the chopper.
What was that too? Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I went to cover Vikings games in that new stadium they have, and that horn would go off, man, it would just reverberate off the walls.
Yep.
Dude, it was like you in a movie. You would hear that, and it would just, and all of a sudden these people start with that chant. I can't say the word. Okay, but start with that chant. And you're right. It looked like Florida State and the Atlanta Braves fans doing that tomahawk chop.
Yeah.
Bro, that used to be like the greatest thing when I was, growing up and watching football, college football. That was like one of the biggest things I loved, man.
Oh man.
Well, Florida State was great in those days too.
Oh yeah, back in the Bobby Bowden days. Oh my God.
He come out with that spear. And he come up that horse like this. That he
right at center in middle of the field. 50
yard man, that was hot, bro.
That was hot.
But I was also a part of the situation. Like we were playing, I was playing at Kansas State. And we're playing Oklahoma.
Okay.
And
the Chuck Wagon came out.
Yeah, the Chuck Wagon came out, and it was towards the end of the game, and they lost control. They lost control of it, and it slid over, boom, and fell on the side. Yeah. I also this is crazy too. I also was playing in the game in Colorado when Ralph the Buffalo broke loose and ran on the field. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He ran on the field.
They had to go get him. Yeah.
Hey, through the years.
By the way, I'm not rounding that.
No,
man.
Through the years, I can remember seeing. They always have one person on each side, like a cheerleader or somebody, and they would have Ralph the Buffalo, and they would run. I saw a couple times through the years where one of the people would trip and the buffalo would run right over him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
or drag him.
Yeah, get a hoof. Yeah, get a hoof right up your backside. Or what about Debo, the Texas, the Longhorn? Didn't he get loose once?
Yeah, he got loose. Didn't Uga, Georgia's bulldog?
Yeah.
Bite somebody one time or something?
Yes, bit somebody. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
What is going on, man?
I think he went after another mascot or something. Somebody else, a visiting team had a mascot on the field.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It was some animal. like it was a goat or something like I don't know, and went after the mask. I'm like, jeez, oh
Bro,
my goodness.
the worst. I like Kansas State. We almost got arrested because of child. I mean, not child, but dog endangerment.
Oh no.
We went up and played the Huskies.
Yeah,
they were kicking our butts. That's when they had Steve Etman all when they won the national championship.
Oh, they were loaded, man.
They were kicking our butts so bad. Billy Joe Holbert, Napoleon Kaufman. They was whooping us so bad that by the third quarter, they used to bring this Husky and run them from the 30 to the 30. They almost had to call animal control. They were scoring so much on us that they would score, and the
dog was exhausted.
And they're trying to tug the Husky, and the Husky would not get up. That's how bad they were beating us, man.
You know you're having a bad day.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
they're trying to yank
God.
the Husky laid there, would not go. He's like, man, later for that, dog. 30 to 30? No, not today. Not today.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of animals, John Dickerson brings up a good point. Did you guys see the video the other day of, I think it was Yellowstone Park? You know, these people are dumb enough when they go to Yellowstone because the buffaloes come down and they want to get close as possible to a wild buffalo. So I guess I believe it was a kid that took off and a lady ran to grab the kid and the buffalo put the horn under her arm and flipped her. Did you see?
What? Xander, see if you can get that, man. I didn't see it.
It's like, what are people thinking, man?
Right,
you go to Yellowstone National Park. It's like you break into somebody's home.
I don't get the whole like taunting an animal.
I don't either.
At a zoo, and you're look how close I can get. Like, who wants to get close to that?
Rob,
I don't get it.
I'll do you one better than that. If I go to a park,
and
I see signs up that says wildcat crossing or bears are here,
coyote or whatever,
that's telling me I don't belong there.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm with you.
Just like remember that's the sharks. That's the sharks' house. Yeah, if I go somewhere and they say sharks are here, that's just telling me don't go. It says me and the rest of the Brooks clan to stay the hell out of the water.
And then people do it. They get attacked, they get mauled or maimed or something, and all of a sudden everybody wants to kill an animal.
Yeah,
well, the animal's just defending their turf. They're doing it's like if somebody breaks into your home, what are you going to do? You're going to defend your turf.
Well, it's the other thing I tell people. Like I see people. I'm talking about like the domesticated dogs, like dogs who are used to be around people. However, they're still dogs, and I see these people who kind of want to like mess with the dog, and like you understand,
right?
The dog doesn't think logically like we do. Okay, at some point they are an animal, and you keep messing with them, you're gonna get it. Okay, and you deserve to get it if you,
especially smaller dogs. Smaller dogs is more skittish. And if you get up and like we have that problem with my 3-year-old grandson, he likes to get up in the small dogs' faces, and we don't get in the faces because one of them we'll turn and nip at him. Now the 100%. Big dog, she's 75, 80 pounds. He treats her like a rug, man. You know, she loves it. He pulls her tail. You know, he puts her in a headlock. She loves it. But the little dogs, you got to be very leery of because little dogs are very skittish, and some little dogs have that big dog mentality. Well, we got one. He wouldn't back down from a pit bull. He's 16 pounds. We can't get this dog to back down. I told you he's flunked doggy daycare twice. You know, and you got to be when you think I'm kidding.
No, I believe you.
He cannot go to my daughter cannot put him in doggy daycare because he attacks bigger dogs.
Wow.
See, that's people tell me all the time. Oh, you come in, I said, can you put the dog up? Oh, he doesn't bite. I said, man, he has teeth.
Yeah, put the dog away.
Teeth. The dog.
I don't know your dog. I don't know your dog. Put that dog away.
Your dog. Your dog might not like black people. Yeah. Oh, I'm black. It doesn't. Well, he don't like big black people. Put it like that.
Racist dogs. Oh my god.
Well, I'm black too. Yeah, but he don't like big black bald guys.
Oh my god.
My goodness.
They got teeth. They bite. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear anything else.
I hear you, man.
Put it up.
Hear you.
Oh my goodness. All
right,
like black people.
That's funny. That is funny. All right, let me jump back to camp observation. If you're just tuning in, Barrett was at camp today, and they went I think it was the longest session they've had was today. They pushed it up a little bit. It's really hot in the Philadelphia area, so they moved it up an hour. So they went basically, Barrett, 9 to almost 11 or around that range.
Yep, so, right around 11. Yep.
So again, it was a day where it seemed like the defense got the better of the offense in general, and you said. Hurts had a couple moments, but it was you said the offensive line in pass protection had a tough time, but was opening up holes for the running game. And who along the defensive line stood out? Did any of the interior guys, anybody on the edges, like who stood out defensive line wise?
All the starters.
Okay.
All of them. They all look good, man. Hargrave, Fletch was having a great time. BG was having a great time. One-on-ones, those guys were wreaking havoc. You could tell they're starting to get used to playing next to each other. I saw not a team period, but when they did one-on-ones, after they finished one-on-ones, they started doing 2-on-2, 2-on-3.
Okay.
Center, guard, tackle against an end and an outside linebacker, an end and a tackle, just trying to mix up the look. And Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick went up against who was it? Lane. And
who was playing left tackle for Mailata, who was out, and or Dillard? Who are they using over there, Barrett? With those guys out?
Oh man, I forget, man.
Okay, all right, never mind.
I don't even remember because I only watched a couple of them.
Okay,
but I watched Reddick and Fletcher Cox, and they ran a stunt that was unbelievable. So then they said, then it came back again. It was their turn again. Then they ran a fake stunt that was unbelievable. Like a fake stunt is like usually with the first stunt, the end would go up. The defensive tackle would go up the field, straight up the field, and the gap between the tackle and the guard.
Yeah.
And the end would loop around and go around into the A gap between the center and the guard.
Okay.
Well, they ran it to perfection, because Fletch got the field so far that the tackle couldn't get off on him and couldn't bump him off. So he went in scot-free for the quarterback. Then next time he went up there, Fletch got the field again. Reddick acted like he was going to go down, but then kept straight and came back around and was scot-free. So, I mean, they're getting used to playing with each other, and they're getting better and better, man. Better and better.
I was listening to Jonathan Gannon today. He was on the morning show on WIP with Angelo and crew, and I'm listening to him. And I got to tell you, man, he was a lot looser. He wasn't in his usual, like at the podium sort of, name, rank, serial number stuff that you get.
Yep.
I can see why he's getting interviews. Like I'm telling you, man, he was unbelievable. Like this dude's impressive. He is smart, and Barrett. I think they're going to be really good defensively, man. I do. He's got a lot of pieces. He's got a lot of pieces on the chess table to be able to move around and do different things with.
It's just the only thing that makes me nervous with him is can he call these multiple fronts and everybody stay on the same page in these multiple fronts?
Right.
The only thing about running a lot of multiple things is everybody has to be on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's usually two frames of mind frameworks of mind when you have these type of situations. Either you have the tried and true, I'm going to run my stuff and I'm going to run it so well that you can't stop it. I'm about to do it and you can't stop me. Or it's one of these things where I'm going to run this. So I'm going to run all these, and then you can't get a beat on what we're doing. So that's how we're going to beat you.
Mm.
Well, Gannon's on the mindset that, all right, I'm going to throw everything at you and the kitchen sink at you. It's your job to see if you can pick it up.
So your concern is just too many moving parts once we get there till it gets real?
A lot of moving parts and people knowing what to do in those moving parts. See, if you're running a 30 front, when you have a nose guard and two ends out on the tackles, and then you might have outside linebackers out past them, what if there's supposed to be two gapping and everybody's two gapping except for the left side end, and he one gaps and jumps his gap? That means there's a whole gap that's not taken care of, and then also it's a straight line to the linebackers. In those type of defense, they're two gapping. Two gapping mean they're hitting that their tackles.
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting them, pressing them back, and looking up and reading the play.
Okay,
that's keeping the defensive line, offensive line, from getting up on the linebackers. Now the linebackers can go out there and make plays because there's nobody on them because the guy's two gapping, and you can't, as an offensive lineman, leave a guy unblocked.
Yeah, I hear you. And like Chris chiming in on the Gannon thing, Sean McVay syndrome, young, good looking, hits the gym. Everyone wants. You got to prove his. I hear you, Chris. That's fair. Look, and I know whatever he says is lip service. He's got to prove it on the air. I get it, or on the field. I get that. I totally get that where you're coming from. But I was just the overall command of things, the understanding. Again, he was a lot looser. He didn't have his guard up, which I thought made him more likable for me. Because Barrett, I get your concerns. I do. But I think he's going to prove to be a good coordinator for this team. I do. I believe it. I do believe it. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's step aside.
Oh, man. My brother said he would be happy to come on to talk about his love for the Vikings.
Oh, God. Okay. So let's do this, folks. Let's get to
I don't know if he'll do it today or tomorrow. He's out. He's out bike ride. He's in Minneapolis right now, bike riding with his wife. All right. I said, you know what? I hope you get lost and can't find your home.
All right. Well, let's get to 200 likes today. If we do, we'll bring on Marvin Gunn, the real gun in the family, as he says.
What?
I don't know. I totally made that up.
You said it.
I don't know. Somebody said it. I don't know where I heard that. But anyway, he will maybe join us tomorrow, and we'll have Gunner do a skull chant. Here's what we're gonna do, Xander. We'll just go right to the break. I will do the read in the next segment because we got Matt Gelb coming on next. We'll talk some Phillies with Matt, and then EJ Smith coming up at 2:30 to continue with the Birds observations. We got some good NFL stuff for you too coming up around 1:30. When we come back, we'll talk about the trade deadline moves, the big win yesterday, and the Phillies going forward here in the stretch run with Matt Gelb from The Athletic. Rob Ellis, Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
The glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, 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 and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Yeah, okay, but is the rib...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
All right, we're back. Sports Take. Rob Ellis, Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. We are joined by our next guest, talk a little Phillies and what's gone down with them of late. We had him on a little bit earlier on the show. He does a great job covering the Phils for The Athletic. Matt Gell. Matt, welcome to the show, man. How you making out?
What's up,
Good,
man?
guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt,
man.
our pleasure. Certainly no shortage of things to talk about, man. We'll get to yesterday in a minute, which I thought was a really nice win for them to get out of Atlanta with the split. But your just overall impressions here at the trade deadline. They add a starter. They add a bullpen piece that we saw yesterday. We'll see the starter tonight. And they add a center fielder. Not really that many big names given up other than Logan Ohapi, and if you consider Moniak, which I think a lot of people have written off. But what's your sense of what they gave and what they got?
I think the way I look at it, Rob, is like, look, they had some pretty obvious spots where they could upgrade. And it's not about just what they gave up. It's also about who are these new players replacing on the roster, right? And so in the end, you end up getting Odubel Herrera, Jerry Familia, and then Bailey Falter has been the fifth starter. Those guys come off the roster. And then you're adding Noah Syndergaard to the rotation, Dave Robertson to the back of the bullpen, replaces Familia, and Brandon Marsh, who's kind of an unknown in center, but probably an upgrade because honestly, their center field play has been about as bad as it gets. So you look at what they gave up, but you also look at what is the impact on the roster, and it's a deeper team. Like this is you look up and down this roster now, and it's a legitimate team. Like you look at it and say this is a team that should be playing in the playoffs. It's got enough talent. There's 58 games left now, and to me, I think the reason why they were adding along, sort of the edges of the roster, sort of the depth pieces, were because these games really matter. I mean, they have 11 games left against the Nationals in the last 58 games, starting with 4 this weekend. But you got to win 10 or 9 of those, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the idea is that, in my opinion, it's no longer a 162-game season. It's 160 games because you need to do everything you possibly can to make sure that you've sealed up a postseason spot before those final 2 days, because you don't want to have to pitch Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler in the final 2 days, because they wouldn't be able to pitch. Probably wouldn't be able to pitch in the playoff series, because the season this year, the schedule is very different. The season ends on a Wednesday, and that playoff series starts Friday. And there's no off days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days on the road, best of 3. And if you have to use one of your guys on Wednesday or Tuesday before, they're probably not going to be starting a game for you. And they don't have a chance in a series if they're not starting Nola and Wheeler.
It's a phenomenal point. Phenomenal point. Yep.
So getting a more well-rounded roster right now, and just making sure that let's say you win the first 2 games of a series in the middle of August against a bad team, you want to win that 3rd game, because like every win right now is so important. You want to get that spot earlier than later.
Well said.
And Matt, I tell you the thing that really impressed me, and it caught my eye yesterday in particular. They used Sir Anthony as the setup guy, and they used Robertson as the close guy. And Thompson came out and said, it's basically going to be closer by committee. We don't see that in baseball, and that tells you the depth and the comfortability that he has with what he has now, not just as a starting staff, but that bullpen now as well.
Yeah, and the way I think to look at it is Dominguez is going to be used in the toughest spot, the most important spot. It's probably going to be most, in the 9th inning most nights. Like he's been pitching mostly in the 9th inning of late. He's gotten most of his closing opportunities, and I expect that to be the same moving forward. But for example, yesterday, top of the Braves lineup coming up in the 8th inning, and he wants his best guy out there on the mound. And he went to Sir Anthony, and I was pretty surprised he took him out, honestly, with 2 outs. And I know the lefty was coming up, so he went to Alvarado, a lefty who's just better against lefties, and he got his guy. And then he brought in Robertson, who's has tons of closing experience in his career, but he wasn't brought in to be the closer here. I mean, he was brought in to be probably a 7th, 8th inning guy, and I think that's where he'll be predominantly used. But you're right, Derek. I mean, they have so many different options right now, and it's kind of scary to say. Like, people don't want to admit it. People don't want to get too confident or comfortable, because they're like, we've seen so many bad bullpens here for so many years now, and it's. I know people are reticent to admit it, but this is kind of a good bullpen. Like, these guys have pitched well now for a while, and it's okay to admit that this bullpen might be kind of good.
Yep.
Matt, don't do that to us.
It's hard to even get it out. Good. Yes, it is. No, but Matt, I mean, look at it. I was just thinking about it yesterday. I mean, Robertson, Sir Anthony, Brogdon, Hand, Alvarado, who we talked about yesterday. I mean, who was actually kind of, looks like he's got it together.
Been better. That's
some great options, man. You could almost do the Kapler thing like we're talking about, where it's all right, best matchup in the 8th. I'm throwing this guy. Best matchup in that. You can. And I think Thompson's got a good feel. I didn't think Girardi had a great feel for the pen. In his defense, guys were just awful a lot of times. But I think Thompson's got a pretty good feel for this as well.
And the other thing is by having more guys that you trust, like you're okay, if your starter goes 5 innings one night and then your starter goes 5 innings the next night. You're not necessarily having to lean on the same relievers every night because you have a few different guys that you trust. And that down the stretch, we know is so important because they probably will have a tighter leash on some of these starters now. You're probably going to lean on your relievers a little more, and you have a bunch of guys that you feel good about late in games.
Yeah.
Hey, what are we to make of Knebel? I mean, just when we're about to give him props for turning the corner, all of a sudden he resorts back and has a bad outing. I can't get a gauge on this guy to save my life. You think at this point of the season you would have better consistency from him.
Yeah, it's just he's had such trouble. He's a 2-pitch guy, right? So
Yep.
if he can't throw one of those pitches for strikes, it's going to be really hard for him because hitters are just going to sit on that one pitch. And he's had trouble throwing that curveball for strikes. And when he was on that 14 outing scoreless streak and that outing that he had in Pittsburgh, the 2-inning across the 9th and 10th inning, terrific. I mean, it was the best he's looked. It's because he was throwing his curveball for strikes. Like he was landing it in the bottom of the zone. And now all of a sudden it's in the back of the hitter's head. He's like, okay, well, he just dropped a hook there on me. Like maybe he's coming back with that. Maybe it's going to be fastball. Or like, I know he's not throwing his curveball for a strike. If I see curveball out of the hand, I don't even need to think about it. I'm just going to let it go. And that's been his problem. I mean, it's tough. And we saw a little bit of consistency. I think he's better suited for a setup role, maybe a more middle relief role. That's where they've used him often. I think Brogdon is ahead of Knebel on the depth chart. Honestly, a guy like Andrew Bellotti, who really came out of nowhere on a minor league contract.
Yeah.
He's striking out a ton of dudes. Like he's probably ahead of Knebel. Him and Knebel are probably about the same on the depth chart, and that's good. Those are good middle relievers for you. Knebel, it's been hard to trust him at times. He's been a little better. Last one, not as good. And you're right, Derek. It's a little disappointing because he had been on such a roll.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Syndergaard, you have two. For me, it's like kind of two memories of him when he was at the Mets. I know a lot of people maybe haven't seen him with the Angels this year. One was when he came up, the guy was just unbelievable, and then it was just a lot of injuries, man. After that, and obviously he's a colorful guy and a fun guy. We saw that immediately with the Fanatic, Jeff, and Philly will love him if he's even okay. They're going to love him. But what's your sense of where he's at this point in his career? The ERA is not terrible, considering he was pitching for a pretty bad team. What are they getting here?
He's a very different guy than he used to be. And that means that it's not that he hasn't had success with it because he has. You're going to be seeing 93s, 94s, some 95s. It's not 99 like he used to be. And really one of the most electric young pitchers we've seen come up in the majors in the last few years. It's different. It's going to be different. And I think because he's barely pitched the last few seasons, he's already up to 80 innings. They're going to be careful with him. Like, I think he's probably a 5-inning guy, maybe 6 innings at the most. And that's okay. Like, because remember what they were upgrading was really a ton of uncertainty with they were using Belly Falter, Christopher Sanchez, bullpen games in that 5th spot. The bar was pretty low. And it's not to say that like Syndergaard, the expectation shouldn't be higher because they should be, but they're just looking for a guy to keep them in games every 5th day. And I think he's capable of doing that. I think getting him out of Anaheim, which was a terrible situation there. I mean, they've been the worst team in baseball record-wise since the middle of May. They were in first place at that time, and they've just totally tanked since, even with the 2 of the best players in the sport on the roster. So I think getting him out of there, getting him on the East Coast, getting him back into a sort of contending environment could really give him a boost. He's a guy who thrives on that kind of atmosphere. He did in New York. We saw it a lot. You're right, Rob. I mean, like, I think people will really like this guy if he's just halfway decent every 5th day. He's an exciting guy. He's kind of fun to watch, and it is different. But I think you're going to see a guy who competes. He's also competing for another contract. He's on a 1-year deal. He's just about to turn 30. It's not like his career is over. He's a different pitcher, but he's trying to prove a little bit about himself too.
I want to get your perspective. Go ahead, Barrett.
Let me ask you this. I mean, I hate to put the chicken before the egg, but we do get it. We do get in the playoffs. We turn around. Is Thompson skilled enough? Does he know enough? Has he been around enough to march us into this postseason? Do you trust him enough?
I really think so, Barrett. I mean, he spent so many years in the postseason with the Yankees, and really when he was the bench coach or the third base coach, like a lot of the stuff he did in New York was mostly tactical and planning things and trying to understand the opponent, trying to understand tendencies, and trying to think along with the manager, who was Joe Girardi at the time, how to manage this game, how to manage get through these situations, these really tight, tense situations in October. He's had a lot of experience there. Now, he hasn't done it as the guy, as the manager. So, yeah, there's questions about that. I think, as Rob and Derek said, like his bullpen management has been good. It's helped that the relievers have been better. So, like, they make the manager look smarter when they pitch better. And that wasn't necessarily the case when Girardi was around. But Thompson he's gotten, really good starting pitching. So he hasn't had to lean on a lot of those relievers. We're going to see, more interesting decisions here down the stretch because they will be more careful. They're probably, if a guy, if a starter doesn't have his best stuff, they may not try to push him in the 6th or the 7th like they did in July or June. They're probably going to the bullpen quicker, and that means more decisions for the manager. And I think there'll be a bigger focus on what he does. But I've been impressed. The players really gravitate toward him. He's just very calm. He can get fired up too. We saw it when Herrera really didn't run hard that night in Pittsburgh. And Thompson, the cameras caught him. He was pretty pissed. He called him out on it and, was asking, like, what are you doing? And he's kind of no nonsense guy, even though you may not see him always get mad. But I've been impressed. I really have.
Hey, Matt, give me your perspective on Marsh. We had David Murphy on yesterday. And, he was talking about, he hasn't lived up to expectation in terms of hitting. But the guy can flat out go around the bases in the field. And I had said time and time again, I got sick of looking at so many opponents the Phillies have played, the Dodgers, the Braves, the Marlins, with center fielders that basically are like cheetahs, hitting the gaps. Now you have a guy that can cover the ground, which the Phillies lacked before. Do you honestly feel that we have enough hitters in the lineup that can cover up for some of his deficiencies at the plate?
Yeah, let's remember Gene Segura is going to be activated tonight.
Absolutely.
Getting him back in the lineup is huge for them. Just allows him to move around some different pieces. And then obviously Bryce, they're hoping by the end of the month is back in the lineup, and you're not going to get a bigger piece than him add to the lineup. But I think so, Derek. He's a work in progress offensively. It's pretty clear.
Yep.
He's going to bat ninth for them. He strikes out a lot. It's a huge problem. They think there's upside there, and I've talked to evaluators from other teams who agree, who really think that there is some offensive upside. It just may not. I don't know what you can expect to get in the last 2 months here, because it's hard to make adjustments during the season, especially, this guy's going to be put right into a pennant race. He's never really played in big games. He's going to want to do what feels most comfortable to him, and that may not be the adjustment that he's working on. But at the very least, he is a huge upgrade defensively. And that's really that is what they need right now. If the offensive upgrades or improvements come in 2023, then fine. I think as long as he is helping out the corner outfielders, Schwarber and Castellanos, who do not cover a lot of ground, let's be real. As long as he's doing that and running the bases well, being able to play every day, I think they're fine with that for these final 2 months, because that's an upgrade for them right now. Now, giving up what they gave up, Logan O'Hoppe, a decent catching prospect, they obviously think there's more in Marsh's offensive game. I just don't know that it's going to come right away, and it may not be the priority. They may not want to overwhelm this guy right away, because really what they need is just a really good glove guy in center who can, just chase it down and not be a total black hole.
Matt, you mentioned Segura, Harper coming back, but they're also, it looks like a couple guys are starting to hit, the ascension here at the right time. Real Muto really starting to come around a little bit here. And Castellanos, I got to give him props. He is, I've been pretty critical.
No.
Both of those guys appear to be, going in the right direction right now. And I just can only imagine what that's like, coupled with Bohm, who's been really consistent all year, and getting the pieces back that they're getting, man. The timing of this could be really potentially unbelievable.
Yeah, because in July, really Schwarber and Hoskins, and in June and July, they carried those two guys carried them. Really, They weren't getting much from anyone else at all. The pitching was huge, but Schwarber and Hoskins carried the lineup. And quietly, Schwarber and Hoskins have not been hitting well of late. It's been 2 or 3 weeks now here, and other guys have picked it up. Real Muto especially. You look up, and all of a sudden his numbers are right about where you expect them to be. Maybe a little under still, but right where you expect him to be. Still one of the better catchers in baseball. Castellanos, yes, quietly, and August is historically a big month for him. He's always hit well in August. You're starting to see some contributions from other guys, and putting Gene Segura back in this lineup, he's probably going to bat lower. I'm thinking maybe 6th, 7th. What a huge boost that is, just because he's a different kind of hitter than a lot of their hitters. He's an average hitter, hits for average, and not necessarily power, but that's all right. They have power potential elsewhere in the lineup, and I think it's a a huge boost, really, because I'm fascinated to see what they do with shortstop. I think everybody is.
Yeah.
Bryson Stott, the numbers don't necessarily show it, but I think his at-bats have been better. His defense has been good. Didi Gregorius, his defense has been better. Like, let's give him credit. He's worked hard. He's definitely made more plays this year than he did last year.
Yep.
But the offensive game right now is just, it's a mess. I mean, it's been for really 2 months now since he came back from the injured list. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do there.
Matt, last one for me. We saw Wheeler again, dealing, and he's just been phenomenal since they gotten him. I mean, I was racking my brain. The Phillies have hit on some free agents over the years. There's no doubt. But he's in any conversation where you're talking about the best signings so far.
Amazing. I mean, the guy hasn't had – look, like his stuff is not what it was last year. I mean, he could reach back and throw 99 whenever he wanted last year. He can't do that this year. And it's a testament to him and really, his work and just how he thinks about pitching that he's been able to put up the numbers he has with a little less juice on his stuff. And you're right, Rob. I mean, what a sign. I mean, like – they really hit on it. And remember when they made the signing, I mean, like it was kind of out there because like he had not really had the track record that pitchers who get those kind of deals normally have. And the Phillies were betting on future performance there. And that's rare that you do that in a free agent contract. And they were dead on there. That was Matt Klentak's deal. And they were right on there. It was probably the best move that Klentak made in his time as GM. And
no question.
Wheeler's been terrific. And Wheeler and Nola both. I mean, really at the top of that rotation. And that's why it's so imperative that those guys are lined up to pitch, because if they are, man, I mean, like they could have an upset in the first round. I mean, they're probably going to be playing the NL Central winner. I think they match up well against either Milwaukee or St. Louis. I know it's all on the road. It would be tough. They would be underdogs, but man, in a short series, you kind of like the way they square up.
Yeah, Matt, correct me. Real quick, Barrett. So you jump in, but Matt, the way it would work is if they're the third wild card, they would get the third division winner. Like in other words, the division winner with the third worst record. In other words, that would be Milwaukee right now, and they play 3 there. Correct? Is that the way the format is set?
Best out of 3, all on the road, no off days.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Barrett.
And I was just gonna say, I know you lost sleep over Moniak and Herrera being gone, man. So
I got a good night's sleep last night. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Matt, thanks, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
good
work. Good to talk ball.
All right. Yep. All right. Take care. That's Matt Gelb. Yeah, that's the other part, man. Like, what a celebration. No more Moniak. No more Herrera. No more Familia. I mean, it's just
you're just getting people whacked left and right, Rob.
I'm telling you, man.
I was dancing
around in the middle of the street, and my neighbors are like, "What is this maniac doing out there, man?" I'm telling you.
Hey, we're still cool, right? Don't get me fired, man.
Never. Are you kidding me, man? I go to war for you two, man.
Yeah, man.
That's real. But anyway, yeah. So I was there. Here's what's going to be really interesting. I know Matt was pressed for time, so that's why we let Matt go. But what's going to be interesting to me is what happens in that third slot. In other words, it's Wheeler, Nola, right? If you can set it up the way you want to set it up in the playoffs, it's those two, right? Who's your third guy right now? Is it still up in the air? Is it Suarez, or is it if Syndergaard looks really good here over the next whatever?
I think he is. I think he will be.
Syndergaard?
I think it's something in the air. I think it's a nice luxury to have.
Yeah.
Right. There are very few teams, especially teams going into playoffs. Maybe the Dodgers, maybe the Mets, but very few teams that have the luxury of deciding who they want to put in certain spots, because you have a surplus now, which you didn't have just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that's a huge – I said it before, and I'll say it again. The way this Phillies team is playing right now, there's a lot of teams that might not want to play this team in the playoffs.
I agree with you.
Outside of the Mets, they can stand up to the Dodgers. They can stand up. They played the Braves 12 games, and they're 6-6 against the Braves.
Yeah.
Anything goes against the Braves. They've beaten the Padres. They've beaten the Brewers. They've beaten the Cardinals. They can stand up to any team. And I'm not saying they can't stand up to the Mets. But
I hear you.
That Mets team is just a little bit different right now. But I'm saying, you know what? In the playoffs, as we all know, in any sport, just because it looks good on paper doesn't necessarily mean that's the way the outcome is going to occur.
Yeah, baseball's so pitcher dependent too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, at least we have the luxury. Well, not really necessarily luxury, but I never feel right now that I go into a game like I just go and think, oh my goodness, here we go, man.
Yeah.
But now we got Rangers He's pitched okay. We've got a couple of great games out of Kyle. I mean, we can compete, man. And with bringing Syndergaard down, just that veteran leadership, man, right now, man, that could bode well for us because he knows what's on the line now. He's on a team that's going to compete. So I think that he's going to see a totally different person than what you saw before. Like when he was with the Angels, he knew what nothing going on there. Yeah. Nothing.
I agree. Change of scene is going to be enormous.
Exactly.
I mean, you got out of a situation where you go nowhere. Now you're in a pennant race. And by the way, you get to face your old team. You could take on, he's going to put, I got to check the next time they play the Mets, but he's going to be taking on the Mets too. He's going to have a little added incentive there.
Oh, no question about that.
Yeah.
Can't wait, man. So, I mean, I'm just looking. We have
August 12th. They get the Mets next. FYI.
Just over the hill. You got Segura coming back, and just a little bit farther up, you got that man coming back, bro. So I mean,
I'm with you, Barrett. If those two can come back and look good, they're a scary team. The Phillies are.
I think it's gonna give Eflin a little more incentive to get a lot more healthier really quick because the Syndergaard's here now too.
Yeah, look, it could be, man. It could be. And here's the beauty. If he doesn't come back now, you have Syndergaard in there. You're not trying to do this thing where you're piecemealing it with a bullpen and doing the opener thing where the bullpen's starting the game and all that nonsense that you had to go through, man. So that's
right.
That is big. That is big. So here's the way this sets up. So the Cardinals got rained out last night. So the Phillies are up a half game right now. They're going to have a doubleheader. I don't know exactly when, but they're going to make it up with a doubleheader. So the way the wild card standings go, Phillies are up a half game on the Cardinals. They're 3.5 back of the Padres, who won last night when Soto made his debut. So they get 4 at home next, starting tonight, against the Nationals, who are, if not the worst team in the league. I mean, they're right there. I mean, they're awful. Is Washington?
Soto's
Washington
gone too. I mean, what are they going to do, man?
Washington's 36-70. Okay. So that's bad. So this has to be like we talked about over the weekend with Pittsburgh. It's got to be sweep or 3 out of 4. It's got to be either one. It's the only way this thing works because your schedule gets a lot tougher after that. But just to reiterate, so the way that this works, playoff wise, if the Phillies finish as the 3rd team in this thing, in the wild card, they get in. But you go on the road for 3. It's kind of a goofy format. It's a 3-game series all on the road. Okay?
That's ridiculous.
It is weird. It is weird. Right now, Milwaukee, of the division leading teams, has the 3rd worst record. The team with the best record and the second best record who win their divisions get buys. Then the Phillies would play the other division winner because they're the 3rd wild card team.
Yep.
That's how it works. So it's a little weird. I know people aren't used to it. But that's what happened when they added that 3rd wild card team. So that's how this shakes out. It's gonna be interesting the way this happens. To see what happens here.
And they can beat Milwaukee. I mean, they can beat Milwaukee. Milwaukee's offensive lineup is not as dominant as it was a year ago. Now the Brewers went out and added some pitching. Everybody's adding pitching, for the stretch run. But again, you look at the Phillies lineup, the way they're hitting right now compared to the Brewers right now. Mm-hmm. I'll take the Phillies in a what is it, 3-game series, quick 3-game series. I'll take the Phillies in a series like that, the way they're slapping the ball around now.
I'm with you. Hey, by the way, we're at 128 likes.
I'm good, baby. I'm good.
We need 72, man. We need 72 to have Gunner doing the Viking skull check.
You're not good.
You're not good. You're not good. No. We need this to happen.
Once we got about an hour and a half. Yeah, I feel pretty confident right now.
You are a weasel. You are just trying. You are so trying to make this not happen, man. You're unbelievable. Take your medicine like I took my medicine.
I do not want my brother on this show talking
Marvin
about the
Gunn
Vikings.
is gonna make an appearance and steal the show.
I do not want him on the show talking about Vikings. He was out riding bikes. He goes, I can't do it. Then he's back in the studio recording. And so I said, you know what? Take your time getting back to us.
Barry, you know what we're going to do? If we get Marvin on, we're going to get all the dirt, dude. That's what's going to happen.
No question about
that. We're getting everything from childhood all the way up, and we're going to find some stuff out. And Derek knows it, too.
Bro, I went fishing with him twice, and it's always a great time with Marv. He's always got a story or two.
My brother's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
he's a musician.
Yeah,
we talked about it before, so just let people know what he
told us. Oh, you guys haven't seen Derek. I'm like, yeah, that's
I'm like,
Derek
would you
every
shut up?
day.
Nah, I'm like, would you shut
No,
up, please? Shut
Derek,
up.
Derek.
I tell my brother, yeah. I'm like,
Who
dude,
is Derek? Derek? You mean Derek?
Okay. Okay.
You don't need to
I
know
like
this
it.
stuff. Let sleeping dogs lie. Leave skeletons in the closet.
According to Xander, we're looking at a long-term contract for Marvin Gunn. That's what I'm hearing for JAKIB Media. I'm just that's what my sources are.
No
telling me.
woman, no cry.
Even Xander turned on me,
I'm
man.
telling you, man, it's all happening. It's all happening right now. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna spin it back to football here, guys. We'll continue talking about camp. But Barrett, get yourself set, man. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna preview the best games of Week 1.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Starting with the Thursday night game, which is a killer. Bills and the Rams. We're going to go through the best games of Week 1 of the NFL schedule. And we have action tonight, boys. We have action tonight.
Oh, yes.
Jags and the Raiders.
I got to tape it. My son-in-law, my oldest daughter's husband, has been texting me all morning. Hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing a show. Why? What are you doing after your show? I said, I don't know. I said, I got to watch this game tonight. He goes, dude, I've got the shakes. I said, what do you mean you got the shakes? He goes, we haven't been bass fishing since early June. I'm like, oh,
Josh?
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, so you're going out after the show today?
I told him, I said, but I got to be home by a certain time. I got to see this game. So what I'm probably going to do is tape the game and then speed through the first quarter or so when I get home get caught up. Yeah, because
all right.
Well, you speed through the first, you're not going to see the good plays.
Well, I mean, I'll see the plays, but I mean, go past all the lull between one play from the next.
It's
sometimes
not till Derek. It's not till 8. You might be able to pull it off.
No, we usually fish to dusk, brother.
Okay.
And it's like about a 25-minute drive from my house to our friend's house in Maryland that has a private bass pond that we fish on. So yeah, it's gonna be about a 25-minute drive.
Have I been to that one before?
No, you have not. You haven't been to this one.
I've been to the other two though, but I haven't been to this one.
You've been to Linville Orchard, which is a great place to hang out and fish.
That's a great place. I love that place. That place is great in general.
But see, for years I've had carte blanche. I go there, I park in the guy who manages the property, Bill Cordelise. We park in his driveway. He has this beautiful. Him and his wife have this beautiful old farmhouse.
Yeah.
And the pond sits like below a hill, down in this valley, surrounded by this little mini valley. So I just park in this driveway. We walk. Everybody else has to pay to fish there.
You got all the hookups, man. It's unbelievable.
So man, I'll tell you what. I've been through the years. It's just to show you through the years. Like we would take, like when my wife's family would come visit from California and stuff. Bill would get one of his workers to take him on a flatbed, a hay ride around the whole property.
We do it every fall. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
So and you get to stop and pick. They have like 20 different kind of apples on the orchard. So they would just stop. So all the men are fishing. Women come back with bags of strawberries, blueberries, apple. I'm like, what the heck? And Bill's never charged us for anything, man.
That's cool.
He's been great. So Bill Cordelise, if you're out there, brother,
shout out.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Plus, I see when I go there, I fish and then I go to the garage. I go look at the toys.
Oh,
there's some old like trucks and stuff like that.
No. Bill likes to rebuild motorcycles.
Yeah,
dude, he's got some Harleys that you wouldn't believe. And what he does every year, he just takes off and drives from here to South Carolina. South Dakota.
What's
that big event? No, but what's that big event where all the bikers and stuff get together?
What is it called? It's in the Black Hills.
Oh my goodness! But he takes off and drives. I'm thinking, dude,
that's a long way, man.
I'm like, and he's close to 70 now. I'm like, dude, what if somebody runs you off the road? You in a ditch in Ohio or something?
You're going out your own way, man. You're going out your own way. I guess.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. All right. So let's set our sights back to the NFL. Remember, 2:30. We're gonna have EJ Smith from the Inquirer. He was down there today, as was Barrett watching Eagles practice. We'll get his thoughts on everything that he saw. So we'll come back.
Are we also going to rank the helmets next segment? Or are we going to save that?
We're ranking the helmets next segment too.
Okay. All right.
We're doing best games of Week 1, and so what we're also going to do. Yeah, we are going.
That's it.
We are. Oh yeah, that's the bike ride. We are going to rank the best helmets in every division in the AFC today. We'll do the NFC tomorrow.
1 through 4.
Coolest looking lids. We will do that when we get back also. So don't go anywhere. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk Pro Action Restoration because they are the best. They're the best in the business. If you have a home, if you have a business, if you have a property, and you've either experienced water, fire, smoke, mold damage, or unfortunately, we know there's a possibility that that could happen. You want to contact them. They're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. They can assist you with that. I've gone through it. Okay. I've experienced water damage at my parents' house. They came over, they cleaned it all up. And that's not just the water part of it. They cleaned everything up. They were in and out of there quickly. The price was reasonable. They are an unbelievable company. They've been doing it for more than 2 decades, by the way. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area, like I said, for a very long time, and they are very trusted. They are also, and this speaks to Mike McIntyre and his entire crew, when we have issues in our country, Houston, Louisiana, some other places, those guys hop in that truck, man, and they get down there and they help people, okay? And they take care of people, and they make sure that they're all right. They do it the right way, and they are certainly people who think about others, that's for sure. They're licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area, as I mentioned, for more than 2 decades. Water, fire, smoke, mold remediation, you name it. And if you're not really sure, just give them a call. You might have something at your house that they can help you with. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action News.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit. The glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, 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 and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Okay, but is the rib...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
Welcome back in, everybody. What's going on this Thursday? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging with us. We are Sports Take. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis with you each and every day, 12 to 3 Eastern. And if you missed any of our interviews that we do, we just wrapped up with Matt Gelb a little while ago. We'll have EJ Smith in a little bit. But you missed any of the interviews that we do, just go to jakibsports.com or JAKIB Sports YouTube network. We podcast all of our interviews. So you get a chance. There's great content on there, man. There is a phenomenal stuff from John McMullen, from all of our reporters down there at Eagles practice, and Talking Eagles, and I read it each and every day. So I suggest you do the same because it is really, really good stuff if you're a Birds fan. Yes, Derek, you're muted.
Did you see what the Phillies just did?
I had to
Wow.
run and take care of something. What
They
happened?
they just released Didi Gregorius.
I got to tell you, I'm not shocked.
Wow.
Yeah, they activated Segura from the 60-day, and they you know what, Derek? First of all, he's one of the nicest human beings you'll ever encounter.
Absolutely.
Let me just say that. But it has been a real struggle for this guy. And I know Matt said he's been better in the field, and he has been better, but he was horrendous last year in the field and at the plate. And he's got one home run this year, guys. This is a guy who used to have a lot of pop as a shortstop when he was a Yankee. It's a shame. He's a really diminished guy. I'm a little surprised you didn't keep him around for depth and because he has some experience in the postseason. But you know what? They made the move to get that guy Sosa last week.
Yeah, they did. But why not just send him down to AAA just to keep him as an insurance policy?
He might be out of options at this point.
Yeah, you might. You're right. Wow.
So I would guess you're going this. What this is telling you is Segura goes to second, Stott goes to short.
Yeah.
And Sosa backs him up.
You see Mr. Taz?
I wasn't really. I didn't kill Didi that much. I was pretty.
Hey man, hey Barry, Rob's the kiss of death, man. You better stay on this good side, dude. I'm telling you.
Come on, man. No, never.
Everybody you've marked.
Exactly. Yes. Barry, you thought I was kidding. I've been saying this for weeks.
Yeah.
Every time Rob goes on a rant about a Phillies player or a manager, all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm telling you, man. You better watch.
You two are safe. All right. Don't sweat it, man. I will go to. I'll be in a foxhole with you two any day of the week. All right. I think you both know that,
man.
But that's it.
Yes, yes, Mr. Ellis.
It is interesting though, Derek. That's you know what that is, man. That's Dombrowski saying we're not playing around. Like, you know, we're going to get the best guys available, and we're rolling from there. I mean, that's it. But significant nonetheless. But there was a numbers crunch. You didn't trade it for that guy Sosa for him to be sent down.
No.
So Didi sent down, which means I think it's going to be Stott most days playing short, which I'm okay with. I like Stott a lot.
I don't mind him at all, especially because he gives you that pop in the lineup also.
And he shows up. He shows up when he needs to show up. You know,
he does.
And that's the biggest thing, you know. How many times he bailed us out, you know what I'm saying? Him and plus, you know, that's Bryce's boy. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep Bryce happy, man.
The Vegas connection with those two.
Yeah.
Here we go. Everybody. Chris is giving it to me. John Dickerson. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I'm telling you, man.
I know.
The death sentence. Rob death sentence Ellis.
No, come on. Give me a hug.
So I ain't touching you, man. I'm just saying we keep my distance.
We're pounding. All right. So a little NFL, fellas. So first off, we're still in limbo right now with the Deshaun Watson stuff in terms of the NFL appealing what the judge handed down, the 6 games.
I'm still surprised by that, man. I am so surprised.
And where are we?
Well, they have until tomorrow. They have until tomorrow, right?
Is it tomorrow?
No,
I know it was tomorrow.
They did. They said they already sent the paperwork. They've already filed the appeal.
Okay.
From what we heard, they've already filed the appeal. But I'm really surprised that they're filing this appeal because there's 2 owners that just want this to just go under the, just go away.
Absolutely.
And that's the Browns and Houston.
That's right.
So he's making $40-something million a year for the owners. So I just don't understand why he doesn't just let this go away.
Well, the other thing that's weird to me, Barrett, is, all right, you made it a point to turn it over to an independent, source, right? And kind of step away and, all right, Judge Robinson, you're going to handle this thing. And, so it doesn't appear that it's Roger Goodell just being heavy-handed and all that. Okay. So you hand it over to her and then you're not happy with what she, brings down. And then you're going to take it back again. Like, why did we go through that charade of going with Judge Robinson?
And plus, he's going to give it to another independent arbitrator, right?
That's what he just said today. Exactly. Yeah, he did say that.
So that to me, all right, I don't like you. Let me give it to somebody else I like, and he's going to rule for me this time, or she's going to rule for me this time.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. I mean, say what you want to say. I mean, I am by no means stupid. I understand that there is some type of something's going on with the kid. You know what I'm saying? He's got a problem. We definitely know that. And I don't condone any of this, to have that many massages anyway is like
nor do I. What I'm saying has nothing to do with him. It's all
right.
Roger Goodell.
But it's more of to me, yeah. With Goodell, all right, I just want to flex a little more. Show this is still my thing,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm already pissed off with him anyways because he has lifetime. He and his family have lifetime health benefits, but we don't.
I'll take it one step farther, Barrett. Maybe it's not Goodell. Maybe it's X amount of owners who say, you know what, we got to make an example of Deshaun Watson.
I didn't think of it like that.
Maybe there's a contingent of owners who say, Goodell, you and your office better do something because this 6 games is a joke.
Yeah.
We need.
And we're all catching flack for this.
Yes. We better find a way to extend this as much as we can. I don't care what the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans think. There needs to be a definitive message sent out.
That's a good
because
point,
six games to a well-paid athlete is nothing. To be honest with you,
yeah,
I hate to say that, but it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the money he's going to make. You think about the money he's paid out to 20-something women, a 6-game suspension. We're talking millions. But that's a fraction of the money he's already guaranteed as a professional athlete to perform at his highest level for the Cleveland Browns.
He's already gotten. Remember, he had like a $40-something million
signing bonus
already.
Which didn't get touched, by the way, by this.
Right.
Did not get touched. Yeah. No, I think you make a good point. I think that could be others in Goodell's ear. Come on, make this. This has got to be heavier than this.
Man.
I hear you. All right, that's fair enough. So if we hear anything, I mean, it could come down today. It could be tomorrow. If we find anything out, we'll let you know. But as of right now, it's still 6 games till we hear anything different.
Don't they have until tomorrow to officially appeal? They had 3 days.
3 days, right? It was 3 days.
It came down. It came down Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. So it could be. It could fall on tomorrow. Yeah, very well. All right. So let's look at this, guys, because we have a game tonight, as we mentioned, the Raiders and the Jags at 8:00 on NBC tonight, the Hall of Fame game. Pretty cool for Josh McDaniels. He grew up in Canton, Ohio. His dad was a high school football coach there, and he played a bunch of high school championship games on that field. So that's kind of a neat thing for him to be going back. And by the way, NFL Hall of Fame this weekend, Dick Vermeil.
That's right.
Going in. Art McNally, the old official. Why do I bring that up? Because he went to T for Temple U University.
Okay.
Trying to bring that up.
See
how I weaseled that in? You guys, Barrett worked in Kansas State the other day. I had to get that in there. But anyway, I'm happy for Vermeil. I think it's an incredible accomplishment to be out. 14 years he sat out and came back with the Rams and then won it after his Eagles stint. So that is
crazy.
That's unbelievable.
I'll talk to Jaws too. Jaws is going down. In fact, he's on his way down there right now. He's already
Barrett. The contingent of Vermeil guys is going to be insane down there.
No question.
Insane. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah. So
what's the over under that he's going to cry and how long he's going to cry? It's actually an over and under on it.
All right, I'll give him
2 minutes.
I'll give him. I was going to say 2 minutes is a pretty good number before he breaks down.
Yep.
He's going to look out in the audience and see the wife and the kids and all his ex-players, and he's going to be a puddle. He's
yeah. He's going to see how loved he is.
Yes. Yeah. Very cool. All right. So that's a Hall of Fame game tonight leading into the weekend festivities. But let's look ahead to week 1. Okay. I don't know about you guys. I'm itching, man. I can't wait to get here.
The NFL is great at putting these schedules together because this might be the best week 1 I've seen in a long time. I'm glad you guys brought this up because this is an amazing schedule, man. Amazing schedule.
It is. Yeah, like I was looking at it today, and I see just off the top of my head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 killers. There's 7 killers.
Absolutely.
Right away. So, and it begins Thursday night. So we don't have to wait till the 11th. The 11th is the full blown week 1, but the 8th is when the Thursday night games. How about what they're coming out of the chute with? Bills at the Rams.
Woo! That's Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford.
Here we go.
Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp. Oh, my goodness. Aaron Donald.
This should have been last year's Super Bowl.
Yes,
in all actuality.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, to me, that's just perfect for this the NFL to come out with the first game in LA also.
Yep.
You know, the probable MVP playing against the Mr. Defensive MVP.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a great game. All the new weapons that the Bills have now. I'm anxious to see how they're going to call this game. This is going to be a remarkable game. I can't wait, man. You mean, look at the matchups. You got Diggs versus Ramsey.
Oof.
Just that matchup alone right there is priced, worth all the tea in China, bro.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
No, I can't. I mean, I'm fascinated to see how the Rams look this year with the bullseye on their back too. We know how hard it is to repeat. We know Buffalo's got to be on a mission the entire season with the last couple of years with the way that their seasons have ended.
And their schedule is brutal this year.
Oh my God.
Brutal is an understatement when you look at Buffalo's schedule for the season.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up there because I was looking at it today. Let's run through it real quick. So they Thursday, the opener, September 8th. They're at LA.
Yep.
Then they're home to Tennessee. That's not an easy game by any
right.
stretch.
Nope.
That's not tiptoeing through the tulips.
No, man. And that's part of that. That's the doubleheader week 2. The Eagles are the later game, the 8:20, whatever it is. So that's the 7:15 game. Then they go to Miami, division rival. Go to Baltimore.
Yep.
They're home against Pittsburgh. Go to Kansas City.
Yep.
Bye week. Home Green Bay. Like, that's murder the first 7 games.
That's right.
Then you go to the Jets. Okay. Vikings. I don't think that's going to be an easy game, but that's home. Cleveland home. At that point, maybe Watson's playing by week 12. Who knows? At Detroit. At New England.
That's going to be a game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a game. You can't just – you got to slow down and take that in. Bills, Patriots. Now the Bills are the big kid on the block, and now the Patriots are up and coming right now.
Yeah.
Mac Jones and, that game that they had there where, he threw the ball only like 9 times, 10 times. They still beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got a chip on the shoulder with that also.
Yeah. That's going to be awesome. So you're there. That's a Thursday night, by the way, that game, the New England game. Then you go to you're home against the Jets, home against the Dolphins, at Chicago. It loosens up a little bit, that little stretch. But then January 2nd, you go to the Bengals.
Yep.
And then you close it out at home against New England. That's extremely
That's
tough.
crazy. That ain't fair, man. That's
not
not fair. Wow.
You know what wouldn't surprise me? They don't win the division. New England does, but they're still the better team, and they go further in the playoffs.
That might be the case.
Wouldn't shock me.
They have an easier schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, the Pats do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Much easier schedule.
But so that's a great one, man, out of the chute. You go to LA with the Rams and the Bills on Thursday. Then if you want to stay in the AFC East, look, Patriots and Dolphins, man. That's always the Dolphins used to have the Patriots number when Brady played there a lot of times. That's always a good game.
And now the Dolphins have more weapons to match the Patriots.
Yeah.
Man, oh my goodness. You got 2 young guns. You got Tua and Matt Jones. And what did Bill Belichick said? Matt Jones has made incredible strides. Belichick didn't give props to anybody.
No.
For him to say that, I expect
2 Alabama quarterbacks.
What? I expect to see almost
Alabama
a Brady-like performance out of Matt Jones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The only thing I worry about with Mac, it's not even him necessarily. I don't love the wideouts. It's Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Aguilar's still there. I mean, they're okay.
But they got 2 of the better tight ends in the game. They got
they
2
do have good
incredible
tight ends.
ends.
Yeah. Yeah. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Yeah. Yeah. They
Oh
do
my goodness.
So that's another one. And then this one's interesting for the subplots. Browns and Panthers.
I was
Baker
gonna say,
Mayfield.
Yes. Yep.
Going against his old team. Again, we're assuming he's the starter. I think he is going to win the starting job. They're whatever. But he's going to want to stick it to them. You just know it. I mean, he's that kind of guy. And I just wonder how heated that thing gets because I think that could get ugly. There could be a lot of scrums in that one.
But that's what you want, man.
Yep.
You want that. You want those rivalries that surface like that.
Yeah.
That's what you live for.
Yeah.
They have put so many handcuffs on how physical you can play the game. Now you want something. You need some kind of juice, some kind of extracurricular activity. You need some jaw jacking. We don't have much left anymore, man. It's not the old brass knuckles, type football anymore that Barrett played. It's a more refined game now.
It's great Pond football now.
Yeah,
as opposed to
absolutely.
Just
it's a caviar game now.
Right.
Yeah, it is. But that's gonna be interesting. Again, not the greatest matchup maybe on paper that you look at, but there's subplots there. Derek, Packers, Vikings.
Don't do it.
Packers, Skull, Vikings.
Don't do it. Yeah, but I will say this: out of Green Bay camp today, Aaron Rodgers is raving about his young receivers. Now, Aaron Rodgers doesn't do that.
No, he's not a raver.
He's raving. He's raving about his young receivers.
Well, see, if you say young receivers, that means the old heads aren't doing anything, huh?
Well, I mean, he's giving props to the kids because the kids got to make transition. Dude, they have three. Green Bay never has speed. They always have good receivers, but they don't have burners like the Tyreek Hills and all these guys. They got three young kids that run 4.3 40s now, man. They can flat out go.
Yeah,
they got Amari Rodgers.
Yep.
Christian Watson.
Yep.
They drafted some kid in the 7th round they believe is going to make this roster.
Samari.
Dude, so they got some speed on this team now. So Aaron can just, Aaron still can throw the country mile.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say about Aaron, but that dude, there's nobody in the game better than throwing on the move than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That dude can flick it 70 yards rolling out to his right side.
Yeah, no argument. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous. But I feel good about the defense because the defense got a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel good about the defense. And I will say this. We don't talk about this, and rightfully so. Green Bay has one of the best cornerback tandems in the game. They have 2 first-round draft picks playing cornerback. They got Amos from the Bears, and then they got another first-round pick, that Savage, that they picked from Maryland. So they have 3 number 1 picks playing starting in the secondary, and a proven Pro Bowler and Amos playing the safety.
I like Savage. I love
Savage. He darn well said he just can't stay healthy, dude.
Yep. Yeah,
he comes up, makes a hit. All of a sudden, you miss him for 4 games.
He reminds me of Bob Sanders a little bit that way. Remember Bob Sanders?
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And props to John Runyon. John Daniel Runyon.
Yeah.
Starting, man. He's starting guard.
That's right.
He started
last year.
Yeah, he stepped in with some injuries and held his own, and then
played well. Yeah.
So, good for him. All right, so that's a good one, man. We know the Vikings it could be crazy explosive.
Oh my goodness!
Look out. Chiefs Cardinals. It's another good one, man. I think the Chiefs are getting him probably at the right time without D-Hop early.
Yeah.
But still, that game's in the desert. Won't be an easy one for Kansas City by any stretch, but that should be a good one too.
Yeah.
I love the next one. Raiders Chargers.
Oh, Barrett's favorite to win the division.
I'm telling you, man.
Man, that's going to be a gunfight at the OK Corral, dude.
Yeah,
Herbert against Carr. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And watching both defensive lines.
Oh my goodness.
There are some killers on both sides.
Chargers,
of the ball.
Khalil, and they got Khalil Mack to go with Bosa.
Yep.
With the Chargers now.
The Raiders got Chandler Jones.
Asante Samuel.
Max Crosby. Asante Samuel's legit. Yeah.
Yep. Junior is legit.
Yeah, he is. He's got a lot of
that's gonna be a game, but I mean, both defenses have been improved. Like I said, with Chandler coming off the corner now, along with Crosby coming off the corner. Yeah. So I mean, I see him. They went and got your boy another Temple. Let me give you another Temple reference. You send
Rock Ya-Sin. Yep.
Rock Ya-Sin.
One of the great names.
Yeah. So he's one of those single. He came in. He only played there 1 year though, but he came in and earned that single digit.
Yeah.
In camp. That's crazy that he was able to do that though.
That's right.
Man. Yeah, he's a good player. He's a really good player. All right, then the last but not least, the Sunday night game. Bucks and the Cowboys.
That's gonna be a good one. It was a nail biter last year. I mean, remember Dak threw for 500 yards.
Did he have that many?
Yeah.
God.
I mean, he was balling that game, man. Balling. It wasn't even a running show. He was straight. I'm dropping back.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited. Man. I know. Like, part of me, like, I'm loving this, but the other part of me is like, damn, I got to wait how long for this? Like, I got another month, but you know, and change. But
just think about this. No matter what part of the country you're in, you got a primetime game in week 1.
Okay.
Just think about that, because you look at the 425 games, Green Bay, Minnesota, Kansas City, Arizona, Raiders, everybody's not going to see those. One of those might be the national game, but the other games. So you got a game. You got a game within a game, no matter what region of the country you're in on Sunday. That's Sunday.
And then you get through all that, like the whole card at 1 and 4 o'clock, and you're like, well, wait, we still have Sunday night, man. Still have Sunday night. Still have Monday night.
And for people in this region, it's the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody's rooting for the Cowboys to get smoked on that Sunday night game.
Bro, I'm looking at the Chiefs Cardinals. That's almost $1 billion in quarterback money. So I mean, it's only $200 million from $1 billion in quarterback money. With both quarterbacks, with the Cardinals he probably makes about 240, and then you're looking at Mahomes, what he's making $500 million by himself. So that's ridiculous. The payrolls that are going to be on the field at that time.
Hey, let me throw one last one in. And you're going to look at it on paper maybe and not love it, but there's so much, again, another subplot. Monday night, Denver and Russell Wilson are at Seattle, man.
Is that a great? That's you look at the league. How did that happen? The league must have known something.
Yeah,
the league must have known something that with him going back home.
Yeah,
to play in Seattle. Or if he goes back to his old house and spends the night at his old house.
He'll be well rested.
Right.
But how is it that there's only one Monday night game the first week and 2 the second week?
I don't know why that changed. I don't know
what's going on here.
Yeah, so the way it works, that usually there's a doubleheader week 1. For some reason, they decided to do week 2. Like I said, the early game is Tennessee at Buffalo. That's 7:15. Then you have the Eagles at 8:30. Vikings Eagles is a great one, man.
Yes,
man.
So that's your.
The league knew what they were doing.
Yeah, no question about it. So that's going to be interesting the way that shakes out. So maybe we'll do that. I'm just thinking about this on the fly, but maybe we'll make this a feature each day. We'll do, like tomorrow we'll do week 2. We'll do it all leading up to the first week. That work for you guys?
Works for me, bro.
All right, because there's no way I'll remember that. So you two remind me tomorrow.
All right,
that we're going to be doing that. So we come back. Let's do some gear, man. Let's do some helmets. We'll do some helmets when we get back. Best in the AFC. We'll work through each division. Who has the coolest look with the lids, and a couple other odds and ends we need to get to. Brittany Griner's situation.
That is crazy.
What played out there? Yeah,
that is very crazy.
It's actually a killer birthday list which we'll get to. Really good birthdays. And then at 2:30, EJ Smith's going to join us, and we'll get his camp observation. So we're not done with the Eagles by any stretch. So we're at 155 likes. We need 45 for Gunner to be doing his Viking thing.
Heck no.
According to my sources here. So we need to get rolling here. Let's hit the likes, folks. Let's close out strong. I know we can do it. We can do it. Yes.
I want everybody right now to step away from your devices.
Nope.
Go have lunch with the family. Take in a nice movie or something. There's a lot of movies on demand right now.
Don't listen, people. Don't listen. All right, Derek Gunn. He's trying. He's begging. He's pleading. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, let's talk about Razor technology. All right, data is everywhere in business today. But when it's locked away in silos, it can't be efficiently used, and businesses don't have time to wait for the insights that shape decision making. Razor Technologies data management not only integrates data from wherever it's generated or collected, but provides a uniform structure for storing, interpreting, and distributing it to decision makers. Razor helps businesses transform and model their data, use it to populate real-time dashboards, and create shareable reports that highlight key areas of progress as well as warning signs in need of attention. Smart data analytics and the tools to make data insights easily digestible help businesses of all sizes and types discover where they could be untapping significant savings. Razor Technology can help you break down your silos and fully realize the value of your data to drive growth to your business. Learn more. Contact Razor Tech today at 866-797-3282, 866-797-3282, or visit us online at razor-tech.com. That's razor-tech.com.
you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action News.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
The glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, 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 and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. D-Gun looks upset, Barrett. Brooks, I am Rob L. What? You're muted. You're muted, man. Come on.
Now I got my brother asking me, "Hey, how many more likes do you need?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it."
Yes, I love that. Apparently, we need 33. That's what we need.
What?
33?
33?
We got.
Wait. What's our out time today? Is it 55 or 57? I said I think Xander told us our out time is 2:45 today.
Yeah, good try, man. You have no chance. We're getting there today.
How many more likes do you need?
33.
God dog.
25, I'm told we need. We're at 25.
25 more likes?
I'm like an auctioneer. 33, 25. So that's kind of where we're at right now. All right. Thought we go a little lighter side with this one and have a little fun with the uniforms, in particular the helmets. All right. Now, keep in mind, and I don't know how we're going to incorporate this in or not, but there's a lot of alternate helmets now, right? We saw some really badass ones, like the Bengals white ones, which were awesome. The Panthers black ones, which were awesome. So that's kind of what we can work that into the equation if you want. But we're going to jump around the AFC right now and start with the East, and we're ranking coolest helmets for each team. Who wants to take the first crack? Gunner, you got the first one on this one.
All right. What division are we starting with?
Let's go AFC East.
AFC East. Okay, I'm looking at the helmets, and I would have to say my favorite helmet in that division is my most favorite is the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I love that build, the Buffalo in there with that red swoosh coming out of it. I think that is so sharp.
Yep.
So I say without doubt, the Bills one is my favorite in that division.
Okay. You did you? So I'm with you. I went Bills, and here, believe it or not, guys.
Yep.
I really like that the Jets went back to like the Namath helmets.
Ooh.
Those white ones. I like them, man.
Really?
I went with them second. I went the Patriots and then the Dolphins.
Wow.
The Patriots is off the chain, man.
Yeah, I like the
old Patriot. Yeah, man.
Oh, the old one. I do like the old one.
The red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Did you see that? Did you see that new one?
Yeah.
No,
the way it looks?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh man, it's tough, man. It's tough, bro. It's tough. In fact, let me take a picture of it, show you. So you can check it out, man. It is.
See, I picked the Patriots second, Dolphins third, and the Jets last. I'm sorry. I love the old traditional Joe Namath stuff, but when it stacks up against those other three, the Jets just come in. They're the bottom feeders for me in that division.
I agree.
You can't get any more pizzazz with that, unless you change the colors.
The Jets,
exactly. Yeah, the green and white is like, I
just think it's cleaner. And then I didn't like the old what they were when they had the green helmet with the words Jets, the Jets spelled out. I like the
Yep.
I like the other ones, the white ones. That's for sure. So all right. So Barrett, would you agree Buffalo number 1?
No, I would go Patriots number 1, Buffalo number 2.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
I would go 2,
interesting.
yeah.
Let's go north. Let's go north. I go traditional here. I go Steelers, man. I go Steelers 1. They haven't messed with it in however many years, and I think it's the right move. I like the Ravens. I like the black with the Ravens.
Yeah,
I think their colors are sharp. Bengals, if it's the white helmet, you could convince me to move it up a little bit, but if it's just the orange one with the black stripe.
Yeah, we're going straight helmets, not the alternates, just the straight helmets.
I go with them third, and I go Brown. I don't like anything about the Browns. Uniforms. I have them last.
They're the worst. They're last for me too.
That's why they've had a century of misery, because their helmets suck.
Yeah,
that's why
their whole scheme sucks. Who wants brown and orange? Ugh,
I know.
Awful.
Like Halloween colors, man.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with a dog?
Exactly.
Or what the hell is a brown?
Exactly.
It was after the owners. It was after
Paul Brown.
Paul Brown. That's named after him. But somehow it became the dog pound, and then the dog thing took,
Then they went with a little leprechaun type of thing, also a brownie or something.
A little leprechaun.
Yeah, they used to have something like that. It's a little brownie thing, a little leprechaun.
Oh, really?
Type of thing. Yeah.
Is that the hat? Like Stefanski wears a hat. I don't know what the logo is. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, it is. That's ridiculous.
Okay,
this is what I would go. I would go on that division. I would go. I love the Bengals helmet, man. So I would go.
You do like that? Okay.
Bengals.
You like that?
I like those tiger stripes. That would be number 1. Then I go Pittsburgh. Then I go Baltimore, and then Browns. I put them at 32.
Man, I thought you were a lock to go Pittsburgh first.
Pittsburgh is nice, but it's got a logo on one side, there's nothing on the other side.
Yeah, I never understood that. See, I go Ravens first. I just love that Ravens decal.
I do too.
Love that. So I go Ravens first, Steelers second, Cincinnati third, and Cleveland. The mistake by the lake. You might as well dump it in the lake.
You said the mistake by the lake. I hadn't heard that in a while.
That's
man.
a good one.
The mistake by the lake.
Remember with Sam Weish, and he grabbed the mic and he was like admonishing fans for throwing like snowballs, or I forget what it was. And he says, just remember, you're Cincinnati, you're not Cleveland. Act accordingly. He took a shot at Cleveland.
Hey, guys, we sign off today at 59.
No, we ain't signing up today. No 59. No,
59.
Heck no. No, we're not. No, is that what Xander said? No,
Xander said.
I don't care.
Xander, I need a like count. Where are we, man?
No, we sign off like we normally do. 55, 50, whatever it is. No.
All right.
Yeah, I will say this about Cleveland, though. Although I don't know who came up with the term mistake by the lake, but it's so accurate. But I'll tell you the one thing they did do right. That Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I got a chance to go there a few years ago for the first time. I always wanted to go there.
Yep.
There's not many things that wow me anymore. I was in there, and when you just look at all the artifacts from the greatest musicians in the history of music, they even have any parts of the plane from when Otis Redding went down over, what was it, Lake Erie, Lake Michigan? God. They have parts of a plane in the show. They got Michael Jackson's sequin suit with the glove standing there. And one of my photographers, Jerry Hines. Now, a lot of this stuff they have in glass cases, but a lot of other artifacts they have like just out in the open. They have a rail. You can't touch them.
Oh, okay.
There's a rail between you, but they're open. So my photographer at the time, Jerry Hines, we go there, and he reaches across to see. As soon as he reaches across, like an alarm goes off.
Oh boy!
And it says, "Do not touch the." And I'm like, dude, you trying to get us thrown out of here? But there's like three levels of artifacts. Dude, it's one of the best museums ever. If you ever go to Cleveland, there ain't a whole lot to do to Cleveland. Go straight to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It would be worth your price of admission.
All right, very cool. Very cool. All right, we go to the South now. We go to the South, and that division consists of the Jags, the Texans, Titans, and Colts. Barry, why don't you go with what your number one would be, helmet wise?
Hold on, let me get to it now.
It's a pretty strong division.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I like them all too, man. But you said AFC South, right?
Yeah, South. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Colts,
I'm gonna
Titans, Texans, and Jags.
Bro, I gotta go with the Texans first.
Okay.
The Texans helmet is strong, man.
I do like it. Yeah.
But then I love the regularness of the Indianapolis Colts. You know what I'm saying? That would go too.
Yep.
Then I go Jacksonville, and I don't like Tennessee's.
You don't like that. You don't like the Titans.
I don't like I don't like the uniforms either. I don't like. To me, it looks.
Well, you don't like the color scheme, or you don't like the.
I don't like any of it. Yeah, I don't like any of it.
Okay. How about you, Gunnar? What was your?
My first was definitely the Texans. I love that steer logo with the helmets and the colors. You know, the I love that dark blue with the red.
The dark blue and the red pop.
And you got the red star right where the eye is supposed to be. I love it. Whoever came up with that scheme, kudos to them for that.
The only thing they've done right.
Yeah. So definitely Houston's first in that division for me.
Okay. I'm going to go, this is typical of me. I'm going to go really plain Jane. I like the Colts logo, man. I think it's
nice, man.
Yeah,
Colts
man.
tradition.
I like the horseshoe. It reminds me of the old Baltimore Colts, but it's
Earl Morrall, Johnny Unitas.
Yeah, Johnny Unitas. There's something in the simplicity of it that I like. I like the Texans and the next hand.
Rob, that's Rob. That's just
me
you
to
all
a
the
T.
way. Yeah,
that was me to a T.
Exactly.
It's like the Penn State uniforms. I like the
they are the plainest uniforms ever created.
Paterno wouldn't do it. The only thing he ever let them do was he would let them put their numbers on there in like the 70s, and he didn't. That's all he ever let them do. He wouldn't let them do anything else. But
he did let them wear black cleats for a little while.
He did. You're right. You're right about that. So I would go Texans second. I would go. I really like the Jags color scheme too. I'd probably go Jags and then Tennessee. But I actually think I don't hate the Titans like you do, Barry. I think all four are actually pretty decent uniform wise.
Yeah. I think the Titans logo could have been a little bit bigger. It looks too small. It's like too much emptiness in the helmet. If you're going to put a logo on there, have it at least fill up a good portion of the helmet.
Man, it's just plain ugly, bro. That's all it is. It's just plain ugly.
See, I would go Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Tennessee.
Okay.
Oh, 8 more likes. 8 more likes. That's all
we need is 8.
Matter.
All right, we'll get it.
We're not talking about that, Barry. I mean, why you keep bringing it up? Keep my name out your mouth.
Eric's trying to steer it any other way.
My fault.
Come on, man. Keep my name out your mouth, man.
All right, let's go west. Which is going to be the most fun division in football, hands down.
And me, hands down.
Don't say the Raiders.
The Broncos is the best helmet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were going to go Raiders. I did think you were going Raiders.
I like the team, but the Broncos, man, that helmet, man, and I felt that was the most in shape I was ever when I played up in when I was in camp up in with the Denver Broncos.
Right.
So I looked sleek like I was a like stallion out there, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Stallion.
Sleekness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So I love that helmet, man. I love that helmet.
I agree, Mr. Brooks.
Then I would go with the Chargers.
Yeah,
yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that bolt. Yeah.
I think the ugliest helmet in that division is Kansas City.
And I don't think it's bad, but they're not my number one. I don't think it's a bad look, but it's not my number one. I like the Chargers. I like the white helmet with the blue bolt with the yellow trim, the gold trim on it.
Brings back a lot of memories when I covered that team a long time ago.
Yeah, I love those. That's why I got to go Raiders. I guess it's the tradition of the silver and black, man. Second, I go Broncos, and then I go Chiefs. So I go Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs last. How about you, Derek?
The Chiefs, I have to put the Chiefs. I go Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs. The Chiefs helmet looks like when you were a kid and your parents bought you that first NFL uniform. You used to go outside and put it on and play in the backyard. That's what that helmet looks like. It looks like more like a kid's helmet than a professional helmet.
Right.
So I just don't like the way it's set up. But the Raiders, the Raiders has always stood for toughness, mystery, mystique, down and dirty football.
Right.
That's tradition at its finest right there.
Yep.
So yeah, I put Kansas City last in that regard.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So that's our ranking. There's our order for the helmets in the AFC. We'll do the NFC tomorrow. And like I said, we'll preview week 2 tomorrow as well. All right, let's jump around a little bit. The big news sports wise, and this really goes beyond sports. But Brittany Griner gets sentenced to 9 years in Russian prison. It would have been 9.5, but they gave her time served, I guess, for how long she's been in custody or whatever. But the thing is here, so there's two things to know off of that, right? One, she did plead guilty. This is what she expected. Now, what this does is this enables them to accelerate the negotiations to get her back. So part of it is Russia would not look at a swap, if you will, whatever term you want to use for this, until it was official that what her sentence was. So this actually sort of speeds things up. So what the thought is, what the report is, it'll be Brittany Griner, and there's I'll give you the name of the
arms dealer.
No, well, he'll be coming from Russia, but there's also an American over there that's being held on like espionage charges.
Yeah, journalist.
Yeah. So it would be 2 Americans coming back here, and one that Russian arms dealer would be going there. Is what we're looking at. Look, the absurdity of this for what her, what she did, it's clearly over the top and out of control and unbelievable. And I also think Russia's using it as a chip here to get their person back as well.
Absolutely.
Make no mistake. So it's
think
absurd.
I think Russia's basically trying to stick it to the United States because of all the tension with the United States and Ukraine, all the stuff that's going on right now. And if you follow it on the news outlets, it seems to be more and more tension. And now China's gotten involved with this because of Taiwan and all this stuff as well. So I think this is Russia's way of basically trying to twist it to the United States in a lot of ways. It's unfortunate, First of all, Brittany, you should know better. Hey, look, I don't condone anybody who indulges in whatever you're going to do, but you got to be smarter than that when you go to other countries.
No doubt.
Now supposedly it said that she was packing in a hurry and didn't realize it was there and stuff like that. Look, let me tell you something. When you go to another country, I'm double checking, triple checking. I'm taking luggage. I'm shaking everything. I don't want nothing that could stop me at any checkpoint anywhere. Even the United States, I don't need to be stopped unnecessarily. It happened to me one time a few years ago. I just brought this.
You left your weed pen over there?
Huh?
They caught you with your weed pen?
No, they called me in the airport trying to distribute. Yeah, right. No, I bought this. I love buying these utility knives. The kind that have like the knife, the screwdriver, the can opener. I buy them a lot of times when I see like a real nice one at Home Depot or Lowe's. So I just bought a real nice one. Because a lot of times when I'm on the field with photographers, they're looking to unscrew a pack or something, change batteries, and we use a lot of times you can use a coin like a dime,
right?
You can use a dime, but for some reason a couple of times they didn't have it, and had to borrow tools from another photography group. So I always like to have one just in case my guys, because they have a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver in them as well. I just bought a nice one, so I'm going through the checkpoint in Philadelphia. All of a sudden, I see my bag gets pulled off the conveyor. I'm like, what in the world's going on? I'm thinking, did I leave a bottle of water in there again? Because I'm notorious for forgetting to take bottles of water out of my backpack.
Okay.
So the guy pulls me out, and the guy knew me and said, hey, D-Gun, we can't let you go. I said,
isn't that the worst? They know your name?
I know. D-Gun, we can't let you go. I said, why? And they showed me, he said, pull out. He said, hey, man, you can't take this through there. He said, now you can put it in your luggage. And I'm thinking, how am I going to put it in my luggage when my luggage has already gone through to be put in underneath? So I looked at the guy, and we were in a hurry to get on the flight. I said, dude, just keep it. And I paid like $15 for it. I said, just keep it.
Yeah.
And, and then he pulled out this little plastic container. Dude, they had like 15, 20 different things in them that people, I don't know whether by accident or deliberate, try to get. What, it was a screwdriver in there, and sometimes you do pack in a hurry, you forget things.
Sure.
But I made that mistake, cost me, man. So
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So look, the hope is that we'll be able to negotiate a swap here. We being the U.S., we'll be able to negotiate a swap, get her back, get the other prisoner back. Likely we send, one of their folks back who's probably a legitimately bad guy, but whatever. And you get her back here. That's the thought. And people are pretty optimistic that it's going to happen. With this kind of stuff, man, until she's like on American soil or out of Russia, you never quite know. Right. So
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of women's basketball, this I don't know how many people pay attention to it. I do, but Paige Beckers is a stud for UConn.
Right.
Oh, this is sad, man.
Tore her ACL. She's done for the year already.
Yeah.
And will not be able to play this year.
She didn't play last year, though. I mean, she came back. But...
She missed a lot of time and came back. Yeah, and she wasn't quite herself, Barrett, when she came back. Apparently, she looked awesome in the summer, and was working out. Pickup game, boom, the straight tear, and she's done the season. So that's too bad, man. That is too bad. She's out for the year.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, yeah. And she looks like they went from being like consensus top 5 to now.
Yep.
They're saying it might be the first time in 15 years that UConn may not make the Final Four. For I don't know.
What a run Gene Ariama has had at that university.
Incredible.
My goodness.
I'll tell you the one who's really putting it together. Like she's almost like taking the baton from Pat Summitt. Dawn Staley, what she's doing in South Carolina, man.
Yes.
Right.
Whoa.
Won a national championship this year. Yes.
Yeah. She's legit.
No question. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right. So let's do some birthdays because we got EJ Smith coming up at 2:30. We'll get some camp observations from EJ and continue with Barrett as well. Pretty good ones, guys. Barack Obama is one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Coming out of shoot strong here. 61 years old for Barack. Louis Armstrong, the great trumpeter, was born in 1901. So there's another one for you. Meghan Markle, who was married to Prince.
You know she was an actress.
Oh yeah, no.
Who?
No, I mean no big name. She's married to Prince Harry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, Harry, right? Harry.
Yeah, Prince Harry. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's 41. Meghan Markle. Billy Bob Thornton, Sling Blade fame.
Billy
67.
Bob. Bad
French
Santa.
fried potatoes. Yeah, French fried potatoes.
Bad Santa.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's good, man. He's got just enough crazy in him. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that works.
He's an outlier. You know what I'm saying?
You never quite know.
Yeah. You always know him to do something.
Roger Clemens is 60.
Yeah.
Roger Clemens.
Wow.
John Riggins, who was one of the tougher running backs.
Yeah.
That's right.
73.
Running behind the Hogs.
Running behind the Hogs.
They say back in the day when he, towards the end of his career, during training camp, he would be over there barbecuing and drinking beers and coaching the younger running backs what they were supposed to do. And he's still a player at the time.
Yeah, Riggins was crazy, man. He was crazy. Louis Vuitton of the Louis Vuitton, bags and style and
I hate him.
Whatever fashion.
I hate him.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of my money spent by this dude.
He arrives at your house every day. But he was born in 1821, Louis Vuitton.
Wow.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
That right there is confirmation. Mr. Brooks has been claiming poverty since the inception of our show. He just confirmed. He said, I spent a lot. Now, I emphasize, he said, I spent a lot of money on Louis Vuitton. Did he not say that?
Yes,
that's why I'm broke now.
Did he not say that?
That's why I'm broke now. I did it when I was playing. My wife did it when I was playing.
I don't care how you did it. You did it. That's all I know.
While I was playing.
Guess what, Derek? You might want to call your brother and see if he's available tomorrow.
Now, we ain't talking about that. Let's keep talking.
Over 200.
Let's talk about something more important, please.
The chat gang once again comes up big. We're at 204. You guys are the best. Okay. And Gunner will be scolding tomorrow. Skull.
Well, only if I get gear though. I can't skull until I gotta say that chant. Regardless, I gotta say
you got to do the chant, and Marvin Gunn will make an appearance tomorrow. And MG.
Now, we got to understand Marvin is a performer, so he's gonna bring the ultimate.
Yes, he is.
As far as his game face to talk about Derek and his exploits. That way you'll know the real.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking
the real
about
Derek.
No. We're only talking about
the real Derek.
No, the Vikings.
The real
Packers.
Derek.
No. We ain't talking about.
I agree with Barrett.
The real Derek.
No, why we got to talk about? I don't talk about your personal lives. Why do you need to talk
I'm
about? I'm
not talking about your personal life. I'm saying Marv.
That should be off limits. Period.
I'm just saying Marv is.
Marv Gunn. Yeah, Xander needs his email address. We got to get this moving right now. Okay. We're locking this thing in. All right. So, this is a good one too. On this date. So on this date in 1984, so August 4th, 1984, Carl Lewis wins the first of his 4 medals that he would go on to win at the LA Olympics. He won the 100 meters. I mean, he was unbelievable, Carl Lewis.
Bro,
he could do it all.
Everything. Yeah, man. He can do everything, man. Everything but sing the national anthem.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrendous. That was like Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah.
Red glare.
Which one was worse? Him or Rosie O'Donnell singing at a Padres game? Oh my goodness.
I just know I wouldn't do stuff like that.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
You know
Carl kind of fancied himself a singer, and
and that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
He was thinking he was a singer. You got to know and stay in your lane. You got to know your shortcomings.
No, it's okay to know your limitations.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Play
Rob,
your strengths.
Rob, so you like facts and figures. I got a great one for you. Go back to Louis Armstrong for just a moment.
Yeah.
Now think about this. In 1964, he was 63 years old.
Right.
His song "Hello Dolly," remember that was still a classic, knocked the Beatles off the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
Damn.
He is the oldest performer ever to ascend to #1 and knock somebody else off a chart like that.
That's cool, man. That's really
That's
good.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
he had the jaws, man. The jaws.
Yeah,
they would just blow up. It looked like a fish, a blowfish.
Yep.
Well, he had a lot of health issues with his lips, because he plays, and there were times when he had to cancel concerts because his lips were so damaged from playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then doctors would try to get him to use certain medications. They wouldn't work, so he started using like lip balms and lip salves and stuff like that.
Okay,
but he went through a lot of people don't know that he went through a lot of problems with his lips from playing the trumpet. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to step aside here. EJ Smith's going to join us next. He was down at Birds Camp along with Barrett today as well. We'll get his insights on everything that's going on. So,
John Dickinson, I thought that was your friend, D-Gun.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have any friends except my family at home. That's it.
All right. Let's hit it. We'll come back. EJ's going to join us. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're sports. My friends at Flynn Tree Services. Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insurance Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove unwanted trees off your property. We offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem you may face. So, do you have any type of tree issues in your yard or property? All right. If you do, we're just a quick phone call away. We are experts at trimming all types of trees and serve southeastern PA, South Jersey, and North Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, as well as tree pruning. Keep in mind, you got storm and hurricane season right around the corner here. Now is a great time to have your trees evaluated. Go to their Facebook page or Instagram for more information or sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call today, 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or flynntreeservices.com. That's Flynn. treeservices.com.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action News.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit. Glasses for cocktails, right?
It's for this, 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 and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of stateside vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
All right, final segment. Welcome back in. We close the show out in style with our next guest. He does a great job covering the Birds for the Philadelphia Inquirer. You can follow him on Twitter as well at EJSmith94, and of course in Philadelphia, Philly Inquirer or Inquirer.com. EJ, what's going on, man? How was practice today?
What's going on, guys? It's always a pleasure to join you here. Practice was pretty good today. It was a little hot today, though. I got to be honest.
We heard Barrett
not a little bit. It was hot.
I was struggling a little bit. Had to hit the Ritas today.
Right. Me too. I had to take a little kids Ritas.
Why not, man? You got to do what you got to do. It's survival of the fittest out there.
I'm about to say, ruthless out there.
Hey, EJ, you didn't bully a little kid for their Ritas like somebody else I know did.
No, I didn't. I'm not really into intimidating children, so I tried to stay away from that.
Listen, Barrett.
Hey, no judgment.
EJ, don't feed into that, man. EJ, don't feed into that, man.
Oh my God. Well, EJ, let me ask you, man. Everything I saw a lot of the stuff that your camp observation, which I always enjoy, man. The defense, in particular, the defensive line had a strong day today. Was that your impression really throughout?
Yeah, I think you could really tell the offense was without both Jordan Mailata and Andre Dillard. Especially just at the left tackle spot. LaRaven Clark is a decent rotation guy. A depth piece, but you could kind of tell he was a little overmatched today. But yeah, just throughout, I felt like the pass rush was probably the strongest it's been all camp. And it kind of just when you've got pressure in your quarterback's face all day, it kind of does muck up the rest of practice just because it's these guys aren't getting the ball out on time and things can be a little bit discombobulated. So
let me follow. Can I follow that real quick? How did those guys get concussions? Do we know?
No, they don't. They didn't give us a whole lot. I mean, obviously, they've been wearing the Guardian caps to limit stuff like that. But Nick made the point today that even though the Eagles aren't live to the ground with tackling, those O-linemen are live. Pretty much all during team and in one-on-ones. So it's inevitable. I feel like that it happens every once in a while. It is strange though that both of them, both of them went down at the same exact time. It almost makes you wonder if it was when they're working the pads, maybe they hit each other in the helmet or something like that. But I mean, they didn't really offer us a whole lot of an explanation about how it happened.
When I was in practice, man, I saw that the defense. I was playing these guys. The defense, for the most part, on passing downs, passing situation, looked very, very good. Rushing the passer, coverage was good. Guys knew where they're supposed to be. The linebackers played exceptionally well also. But I did see some stuff in the run game where that offensive line were making holes and those running backs were getting touched to the second level. But nobody really talks about that aspect of practice. The run game really looks good, and I'm very happy that the offensive line is working in the running game, but I'm also a little, what's going on with the defense as far as they kept stopping the run?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, that's the double-edged sort of camp is when one side looks good, it's because the other side maybe isn't doing as well. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about obviously I don't think anybody's super worried about Javon Hargrave. That guy's kind of proven what he is in this league by now. And, Fletch, I mean, we'll see what he looks like in the regular season. It wouldn't shock me if during camp he's just trying to make it to the regular season. But, when you look at some of the other D tackles that have been rotating in, you see a lot of Jordan Davis. You see some Marlon Tuipulotu. and some of the other depth guys. So I think they're rotating a lot of guys in that interior line. But I mean, again, it depends on how you look at it. I think Landon Dickerson could be poised to make a really big jump this year. He looked really good toward the second half of last season, and I think he's a guy that could really take that next step and be a real difference maker. So yeah, I agree with you. The runs are kind of tough in camp because it's like, it's always like, well, would that guy have actually made that tackle in a game? Got one arm on him, but obviously like it's not live, so it's hard to really gauge. But I agree with you. I think the run game has looked pretty good. Miles Sanders especially has looked really explosive during camp. Yeah. And, I've seen Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell break off really good chunk runs so far through camp.
Hey, EJ, are you able to get a true gauge on exactly what Jonathan Gannon's scheme, or is it still a lot of cloak and dagger right now?
Yeah, I think, I learned from last year, you can't read too deeply into whatever he's running because he's just working on stuff and seeing what guys are comfortable doing. The first couple of days of camp, you see Hassan Reddick dropping in coverage a whole lot. And it's like, wait a second, like you don't pay that guy all that money to, chase tight ends. You want him chasing quarterbacks. And I think, in the days after that, you've sort of seen that, Hassan is rushing the passer a little bit more. So, I mean, last year I remember that Gannon had a lot of odd fronts. It was like, I remember I was asking around, like, is he really going to run a lot of those odd fronts during the season? And then it was kind of like a little bit of both, So I think we're learning that he's just going to be about the same that he was last year in terms of it's going to be a lot of different looks, multiple fronts. And, I think that we're just the foundation's set. You expect to see two high safeties. You expect to see odd fronts in certain situations and even fronts in other situations. But no, I think it's hard to it would be I wouldn't recommend someone like, make a lot of conclusive statements about what we're seeing from Gannon's scheme just yet.
EJ, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, look, obviously there's a high level of excitement for AJ Brown. And it seems like virtually every day he's giving you even more reason to be excited. I mean, it just looks like this guy is balls to the wall every drill and all in and playing really well and probably setting a great example for the younger guys as well. Just give me your impressions of him so far up close and personal.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the first couple of days, I don't remember who said it, but someone said he's a pads player. Like, he's been impressive, but wait till the pads come on. And I think that that's bared out. I mean, the last couple of practices, you really start to see how physically imposing he is. And, today the offense didn't have a great day, but AJ Brown had a really good day. And I think there's going to be cases where that's the case in the season where it's like, the offense can't really get anything going. But I mean, you get AJ Brown the ball on a slant route with a safety to beat, he can turn that into an explosive play all by himself. Yep. And they've been doing that a lot in camp. It's been a lot of slants, a lot of quick outs, these quick hitters that are, I mean, they're relatively easy throws for Jalen Hurts to make. And AJ Brown is a type of player who can turn, that 8-yard completion into a 35-yard gain. So, no, I think he's been as advertised. If anything, I've been a little bit surprised with how often they've been targeting him. And it does seem like, I mean, obviously we all kind of expected him to be, the number one option in the offense, but it's been that way almost from the jump. Devontae Smith hasn't been as big of a factor as, I may have expected. I mean, I thought Devontae had a really good OTAs. And, I was talking to somebody today and they pointed out like James Bradbury has had an awesome camp. He's looked really good. And Devontae had some trouble with Bradbury in the regular season last year. So, that's a tough matchup for him. And I think that, again, like AJ is the type of guy that might be a little bit less matchup dependent this year. And again, might be the guy who kind of carries the offense through some dry spells.
Hey, EJ, just go back to Jalen Hurts for just a moment. And you were talking about the quick strike game. Do you think that's the best way to utilize his assets when the regular season hits the ground? To get him in a better rhythm, don't let him stand back there patting the ball too much, waiting for the deep intermediate routes or the long ball. Just keep dinking and dunking his way down the field. I mean, hey, a lot of great quarterbacks in this game. That's how they've made their claim to fame, by dinking and dunking their way down the field.
Yeah, that's something that like Josh McCown talked about a lot when he was here. It's kind of like that rhythm you get into, those easy makes. So, I mean, it certainly can't hurt. I mean, with Hurts, I think a lot of it comes down to confidence. I think there have been days in camp where his body language has been really good and you can tell he's in a rhythm. And then there's been other days where he's a little bit more uncomfortable, maybe a little bit apprehensive. And I mean, those completions to AJ Brown, AJ Brown creates a lot of separation on those slants and those out routes because he's explosive, he's dynamic, and guys have got to give him space because of his speed. So, I think that those are the types of completions that, you're going to want to get Hurts early in a game, kind of get him in rhythm, get him, let him it's like the shooter mentality. Like see the ball go through the net a couple of times and build his confidence up that way. So I think that's one of the things that AJ Brown brings to this offense is just kind of like a confidence booster for Jalen Hurts at times.
Well, EJ, what do you give me your evaluation of Nakobe Dean right now? Because I know a lot of people thinking he was going to be a day one starter, coming in. Give me your assessment on what you've seen the last couple of practices during camp.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually pump the brakes on like the day one starter stuff. I think that there might be a sorry. I mean, hey,
I've
been
telling people that.
Happy with me. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think they're going to play all four of those guys. I think you're going to see Davion Taylor, Kaiser White, TJ Edwards, and Nakobe Dean in there. I think that Nakobe Dean is one of those guys. I think his coverage ability will let him see the field at times, but situationally at first, I think is probably what you're looking at. I mean, it's going to be a transition for him. Obviously, he played in the SEC, but the book on him coming out was that he was a little bit smaller, and we hadn't seen him take on blocks at a level that he's going to have to in the NFL. I think it might be a little bit of a transition for him on early downs doing stuff like that. I do think that he's got a role in the defense, but if I'm being honest, just watching camp through the last week, he's been one of the more quiet linebackers in the rotation. A lot of guys have made, some splashy plays here and there, like Kaiser White has had a couple of big stops. Davion Taylor's made some plays in the pass game, and TJ Edwards feels like he's always where he's supposed to be. And Davion has been a little bit quieter through camp so far. I think some of that's probably he's just getting used to the scheme, and I wouldn't, read too much into it. But yeah, I agree with you, Barrett. I think that there's a good chance that, in week one, you're going to be seeing a lot of TJ Edwards, a lot of Kaiser White, and then some Davion Taylor mixed in there, and then maybe some Nakobe Dean on, third down, obvious passing situations where you kind of want more speed and coverage ability. But it's going to take him some time. I feel like linebacker's a tough position to come in and, make an impact right away as a rookie. I mean, there's a lot of instincts and experience that go into that position.
EJ, any individual or position group been disappointing or more quiet than you thought, I guess, in some of your observations?
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly say that up until today, again, it's like with camp, it's like is one side doing well, is the other side not doing well? I would say that the pass rush wasn't as good as I expected in one-on-ones the first couple of days. And now is that because, Lane Johnson has been doing a really good job against Hassan Reddick, and Jordan Mailata's had a heck of a camp. I mean, he looks incredible when he was out there. It might be that, but it's also a little bit like I haven't seen, aside from I would say Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham, and Graham's been running against the twos a lot. I haven't seen a lot of guys get by those tackles in the one-on-ones, those especially Mailata and Johnson. So I would say that those first team, is this another one of your points?
I give these guys points, and I love when somebody else,
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, so I guess I'm preaching to the choir here. But yeah, no, I feel like the first team edge rush hasn't gotten home as much as I expected. Again, like Josh Sweat has made a couple nice plays, and Brandon Graham has been just beating up anybody that they put in front of him who's not a first teamer. But in the outset, the overall, I would say that, yeah, I'd say the pass rush, especially in those one-on-ones, isn't as productive as I thought it might be.
I was also looking at the interior guys and how they're, the way they work, all the interior guys together.
Yeah.
Why do they like Marlon so much, man? I like the other kid. What's number 73? I like him a little more. I like.
Who are you talking about? 73. Is that Marvin Wilson?
Yeah. Yes. Wilson.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
There's 90 of them. It's hard to keep track of sometimes.
Right
now. It's time of the year. Yeah, I think that the Marlon stuff is interesting. I mean, obviously he's got the draft pick status. I feel like it's because he can play a couple different spots in that odd front. I feel like they look at him and they might feel like, okay, he can play some nose, he can play some three technique. And I think that last year, one of the things that one of the biggest changes you'll see from the defense is like, I think they're done putting like Josh Sweat and like, other edge rushers in that 4-eye spot, and they need people to fill in there. So I think that's why you might be seeing him, because I agree with you. I was surprised how often he's in there with the first team. And I don't know. He's made a couple plays, but overall, like, yeah, he's not a guy who I really had penciled in with the first team going into camp.
I don't see it, man. I just don't see it, man. And looking at the linebacker position, like you said, TJ Edwards, he's going to be the guy. But then after that, I mean, how many do you think they keep on the roster? Because the way it kind of averages out.
And you have Sean Bradley with the special teams angle of that too.
Then you have Derek Barnett. They're using him as a linebacker. Like you said, Sweat, I mean, how do they mix those guys into the equation?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of them on the roster just because they can, you look at guys like Barnett and Sweat, and even, Reddick, who will drop into coverage from time to time and play that Sam role. I mean, even a guy, they're going to need somebody on the roster who can, excuse me, who can, play that Reddick role when Reddick, whether he's not available or whether he just needs a break, they're going to need a backup Sam or two. So then you're looking at guys like, Patrick Johnson, Kyron Johnson. You're looking at guys, those undersized guys. So I do think they're going to go heavy on linebacker and what Gannon would call overhang player, which is that Sam spot. I agree with you. Like Sean Bradley's a guy who I feel like he's carved out a role on this team and just in the league, just by being a special teams ace, brings a lot of energy. He's the type of guy I could see in a couple of years really being like one of those like culture guys, just like someone who's been in the building for a long time that sets the tone with intensity and practice and everything else. So
I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah,
that is a great comparison.
Hey, EJ, what do you make of how slow and deliberately they're bringing along the Kobe Dean right now?
I mean, I think they're working him into the rotation. And I think, some of this is if he's making enough plays, then they won't have a choice but to put him on the field. So, right. I mean, it does seem like they want him to, focus a little bit less on that learning both spots and just kind of learn one spot at a time a little bit more than I thought they have done in the past with some guys. But I don't think that it's any reason to like sound the alarm. I just think, again, like he just hasn't made a lot of splashy plays yet. And I don't think that he's gotten them. I don't think he's put them in a position where it's like, he's got to play, we've got to get him on the field. I think that, especially with the way this defense is, I think that Gannon likes these guys who kind of know where they're supposed to be. And that's TJ Edwards and Kaiser White right now. So I think he's just valuing their experience.
EJ, let me ask you about the running game. We all know it was the most effective in the league last year. They rushed for over 2,700 yards, 550 attempts. How dramatically different do you think that's going to look in terms of attempts, in terms of, we know it's something they had to turn to almost last year with just the way the offense was situated, but there is an A.J. Brown now. You hope that with the development of Hurts and Smith, et cetera, how different do you think it's going to look this year compared to last?
Yeah, I think it will look different. I mean, I think that they're going to do what they need to win games. And if Hurts hasn't taken the steps that they want him to have taken, then they're going to have to go back to it. And they'll always have that to lean on. As long as this offensive line is as dominant as it was last year, they're going to be able to run the ball. But I do think that there's not only a facet of this that's like, we don't want to, it's like, obviously they'll win games however they can, but I think that everybody knows that they're going to have to be more balanced and more multiple to win games, especially meaningful games. So I think that the addition of A.J. Brown gives them, like I mentioned earlier, the chance to have easier completions. Some of these, short, quick hitters that can get you 5 or 6 yards. I think you might see more of those on early downs than you did last year. And I do think that, like, if we look up at week 9 or week 10 and they're still one of the teams that in neutral situations where passing and running are as equal, whatever, it's like they could really go either way, second and medium, third and short, stuff like that. I think that if we're seeing them run the ball as much as they did last year, I do think that is a commentary on where they think Hurts is at, because I think that Nick Sirianni, the way he likes to run his offense, and just the way that the Eagles organization views analytics and the way that they view winning football, they want to be able to throw the ball. So I expect it to look like it did last year, maybe even a little bit more, downfield passing instead of, options and RPOs and stuff like that. I think you're going to see a lot more passing from them early in the season, probably again, like it was last year when they weren't running very often. And if they revert back to what they did at the end of last season, again, I think that probably tells you a lot about where they're at with Hurts more than anything.
If you were a betting man, go ahead, Barrett.
I was going to say, well, saying his running game, would you be confident in them going into the year with just Sanders, Gainwell, Scott? Do they need a guy like Huntley or Brooks to stick around?
I'm intrigued by Jason Huntley, so I might not be the right guy to ask. I think that he's got some juice.
Yeah, kickoff return especially.
Right, yeah, absolutely, and they need to find those guys, those return guys too. So, I mean, it depends on what they do at receiver and tight end as well, but I mean, if you're asking me from like a talent standpoint, I'm not worried about that. Especially, a lot of people talk about like the short yardage backs. I mean, the Eagles didn't have problems in the red zone last year. A big part of that's Hurts. Hurts' ability in the run game, especially short yardage situations. I don't think they need like a bruising running back to get them 2 yards when they have Hurts, who can honestly like serve as that for certain situations. And I don't think if they go light and only have 3 backs on the roster to start, that wouldn't alarm me. I think that the running backs are easy enough to pull off the practice squad or find guys like Jordan Howard's always going to be out there ready to make his return once again. So I mean, I feel like the way you can handle that position with free agents and practice squad, they might go light there, because I think when I think about it, it's like I could see them going heavy at receiver. I could see them, adding. I think that they could go heavy at tight end. So, and obviously we know they're going to go heavy on offensive line. So running back might be the spot where they go light. And if they do, I think that they'll have ways to kind of maneuver around that.
If you were a betting man, would you bet money on Miles Sanders being here beyond this season, based on the fact we know how much this organization de-emphasizes that position?
It's tough to say. I mean, it really is going to depend on his market. Now, if he has a 1,000-yard season this year and hits free agency and that he's got suitors, then yeah, I don't think he'll be back next year. I think because I don't think the Eagles are going to pay like top market value for a running back. I mean, I think that there's enough like Ravens influence in this front office by now to kind of look at what they've always done and kind of apply it to the Eagles. And that philosophy is like you draft them, day 2 or or late day 1, and you use them up for 4 years, and then you let them sign a big contract somewhere else. You don't sign running backs to second contract. So the way I see Miles coming back is if even if he has a good or but maybe not great year and his market's not great, I could see the Eagles saying, well, we'll sign you to a 1 or a 2 year deal, bring you back, just because, I do think that Miles is a talented back. But yeah, if there's like a competitive market, I have a hard time seeing the Eagles paying at the top of that market for any running back.
Right.
EJ, the age-old question in terms of practice. I know they're off tomorrow. They have the open practice coming up, Sunday?
It's on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. And today was longer than most have been thus far. Do you feel like it's enough? It's always the argument against efficiency versus, trying to get these guys off their feet, et cetera, et cetera. Where do you fall on all this? Because I know it's controversial for some old school folks and others believe in it, et cetera.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. I don't think that the Eagles are going to lose a game week 1 because of their practice schedule, especially because when you're out there, you see they run an efficient, fast-paced practice. They get a lot of team reps in, and they get a lot of individual work, a lot of 7-on-7s. They fill up their time, and the way they fill up their time is the 1s and the 2s run a lot of reps. Now, is it enough in 2 or 3 years? Are we going to have the same, are we going to be having the same conversations about practice squad guys coming along and, guys like Marcus Epps, Greg Ward, these guys who, started as practice squad, started as undrafted free agents or waiver wire pickups. And all of a sudden, oh man, these guys are real contributors on low cost deals because the Eagles just developed them. I'm not sure if they're going to have as many of those guys in a couple of years, because of the fact that the ones that really pay with this shortened practice schedule are those guys, the guys who kind of need the reps, need the practice. The Eagles have it's like 10 or 13 corners on the roster right now. Those guys don't get many reps, Carson Strong is the 4th quarterback in camp. He doesn't get team reps every day. So those are the guys who I think really, kind of lose out because the Eagles have this shortened practice schedule, more walkthroughs and stuff like that. Now, I'm sure there are ways that they can overcome it. And, some guys will probably still, make a living in this league, even though they didn't necessarily have that practice time. But I don't think it'll impact the way that the Eagles look week 1 as much as some people do, just because I think that, I watch these guys practice every day. They fill it up. They get a lot done. I think that a lot of them realize the value of the walkthroughs and they get something out of that time. So I don't think that they're not practicing enough. And I don't think it's going to have an impact on their win-loss record, but I do think that it might have an impact down the road on how they develop young players, just because of the limited practice time.
EJ, tell me what you're seeing on this Carson Strong. Everybody's enamored with this guy. I mean, he has a big league arm, but obviously he's a stationary target because of multiple knee injuries. What have you seen from him in camp? Because people constantly ask about him.
I was really intrigued with him coming into camp, and maybe it's just because he's, it's a big step and he's uncomfortable, and running with the third team can be a little bit tough for a rookie quarterback. A lot of disorganization and everything else. But I'll be honest, Reed Sinnett has definitely looked better so far through camp. I think Sinnett has actually looked decent at times. Looked pretty good at times. I think all the quarterbacks have had their share of inconsistencies through camp, but I mean, Reed Sinnett has made some good throws, some good plays. I'm still waiting to see it from Carson Strong. Even the big arm, he's been short on a couple of deep passes, which is weird because I watched him at the Senior Bowl. I know what kind of arm he has. So I think it's probably a little bit of just like discomfort right now with him, just like not really knowing where everything's supposed to be and everything else. But yeah, I'm still kind of waiting to see something from him.
EJ, we appreciate it, man. Thank you,
brother.
Thanks for hopping on today.
Always.
And we, always your insight is always valued here, man. So keep up the good work. Follow him on Twitter at EJSmith94, and of course, Inquirer.com. EJ, thanks, man. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having
Appreciate
me,
it, bro.
Yeah, man. Take care, bro.
All right, you got it. Yeah, he was there today with Barrett in the heat, checking it all out. All right, so tomorrow we're gonna have Marvin Gunn. I didn't think I'd be saying that at the end.
Whatever. Yeah,
we
whatever.
will be having Derek
Marvin.
Since we got over 200 likes. Good work.
Yeah, whatever.
Today we appreciate that. Of course, we appreciate all of you in the chat section. Yeah, that's right. And all of you.
Barrett's loving this, man.
What's going on?
You guys are unbelievable.
Say you will.
So we will we'll have him tomorrow. And
you'll get to ask him about how he ended up singing with Prince and Paul Abdul.
Yeah, we'll do all that stuff, man. So good work out of everybody. Thanks everybody who streamed, everybody who listened. Xander Krause, our producer, excellent work. Don't go anywhere. National Football Show with Dan Cilio is coming up next. For D Gunn, Marvin's brother, for Barrett Brooks. I am.
Well,
Rob
you guys
Ellis,
are supposed
everybody.
to be my friends.
We got you, man. We're just teasing you. Yeah, we're just teasing. So we will talk to everybody tomorrow at the same time. Have a great night, everybody, from the Sports Take crew. Thank you.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action News.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit. Glass is for cocktails, right?
It's for this, 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 and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.